Oh yeah.
What's up, everybody?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's going down. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? The crew is all together except one guy. He's at home in Chicago, sitting up there doing something with some cheese balls or something. I don't know what he's doing. I am your host. Welcome to the FTW Future Focus. I am your host, the Mastermind, Bob Rogers. We have the whole crew right here. First off, with the hat on over there to the left, he is also known for getting all the Asian chicks. He has a basement full of. I keep forgetting I can't say that. He is your not so humble correspondent, Robert Black. Robert, what's up?
I am doing excellent. Had a little bit trouble getting here, but I'm here and I'm ready to go. So,
right on. To my left, he is the president of the Motown wrestling page.
Motown Wrestling Group.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can't talk today, man.
You only have one.
Hey, let's not start making excuses already.
Yeah, I know. Tony Motown Allen. Tony, what's up, bro?
What's up, guys? I feel good to be here, rocking a Tom Brady.
You know you can get shut out here for that.
I know, man. They hate him here.
Indianapolis is wild. They hate him here. Okay, to my right, he is one of the most knowledgeable guys in wrestling that we do know. He is a fan. He is also part of our crew. Glad to have him. He is the showstopper.
I need one of those.
Mister.
Oh my God, I'm ready to get a bucket and puke.
Chris, the showstopper.
Chris, the showstopper Woods. Chris, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry I'm late, but I'm here.
And from Chicago, Illinois, he's sitting in his room looking at me like he's ready to try to tear me up in his one-on-one, and he's gonna lose. He is.
I know, he got this.
He is marvelous, Marcus Buckley. Marcus, what's up?
What's up, guys? I wish I was hanging with y'all, but hey, it's all good.
It's all good.
Yep.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today is my birthday bash. I am so how many years old? It ain't none of your business what the number is. But we are having fun.
Younger than me, so
Getting it done. And we are here at the Aztec. I'm sorry. I cannot pronounce the name of this restaurant.
You got it wrote down?
I did. No, it's on the prompt though. I know.
the menu's over by you. The menu's over behind you, right?
Yeah. I am always getting this restaurant.
I have to read it because
Yes, please do, because my tongue is not.
I got it on my right.
To me, it's the Mexican restaurant for me.
It's the only Mexican restaurant.
Right. El
Escobar.
El Escobar, yes.
El
Oh,
Escobar.
by the way, the person that was just speaking, my mom is making a cameo appearance, joining us today. One of our biggest fans.
Yeah. It's good to have her here. That's awesome. Mom, what's up? Alexis, Kiara, what's up? Daddy's doing the podcast. So
let's give them their proper name though, because they were so gracious to let us do the
They were.
podcast.
Yes.
It is El Azabache.
El Azabache.
It's one of the top Mexican restaurants here in Indianapolis on
Yes,
the
it
south
is.
side, 4200 Southeast Street, Suite 11. If you want to get full, if you want a good meal and quality Mexican cuisine, I definitely suggest coming to this restaurant.
Definitely, especially their drinks is on fire. So if you want to have a party, have some guys come through, have a couple of drinks, have some
Excellent
good food.
chips.
Yes, definitely excellent chips. I'm telling you, please come. This place is awesome.
I was an hour 45 minutes late for a podcast a few weeks back because of their drinks, so they definitely make
He
me
sure was. He sure was.
hour 45 minutes late for a 2-hour podcast.
Oh my goodness. All right. So check this out. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna go into the while these guys are ordering food, we're gonna go into the first one-on-one segment here for the FTW podcast. As we know, not all of us, because somebody had to stay in Indianapolis.
Hey,
I ain't mad. I don't know. Money come first, but we were live at the Forbidden Door, and then we stayed at home and watched Money in the Bank because I ain't spending money for that bank. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's the one-on-one right now between AEW Money in the Bank, AEW Forbidden Door, and WWE Money in the Bank. God, I'm having a day today.
You only had one.
I know. Wait till later. What we did was we did all of our rankings last week of what each match was. We took the top 7 matches out of WWE Money in the Bank and put them against 7 matches. Well, it was only 7 matches really in WWE Money in the Bank. Am I right? If you even want to call those matches.
Yeah.
And then we took the top 7 matches off of AEW Forbidden Door and put them in the head-to-head. So we're going to start off with the ones who got the least amount of votes and seeing which match against which match is going to be the best in our opinion. And I don't have a pen.
I don't have a pen either.
Oh, my goodness.
I have a
Please.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
See,
This is what
mom comes in handy. She just comes right on time.
Guest stars on
Can you talk to me too?
podcast
Because I can't even
are-
get my words out.
You really struggling.
Bless him.
Boy.
Did you drink before the flea market?
No, I feel like I'm Donald Trump for the Senate.
Oh, good Lord.
It's your birthday.
That's right.
Exactly.
She got your back. We're going to give you help, but she got your back.
It's your birthday and it's your show, so say what you want.
That's right. Okay, so we're going to start off with the first matchup. Money in the Bank with the score of 1.75. Ronda Rousey. Yeah, I know. Ronda Rousey versus Natalia.
Never say that,
Taking on, and this is what's shocking. Listen to this matchup. Ronda Rousey and Natalia taking on Jon Moxley and Tanahashi with the 2.75. The 2 most main events of each card is the actual lowest scored ranked match that we've had on this show. So between these 2, let me ask you, Rob, kick it off. What do you say would be the winner in this matchup here?
I am going to say Moxley versus Tanahashi, mainly because I'm surprised that match got ranked so low. I enjoyed.
Somebody didn't rank it that good last week.
Well, that's
Darn right.
not,
I'll
was.
talk about that in a second.
I was not here last week because my throat was messed up because of my new wave stuff. But I enjoyed the Moxley Tanahashi match a whole lot more than I did the Natalia Rousey match. The women's match was better than I expected it to be because Ronda has improved. Yeah, I'm not saying she didn't suck. I'm saying she improved. Natalia was on top of her game.
She went from hot garbage to like medium.
Basically,
let them go.
Basically, but no, I will give that one to Moxley versus Tanahashi because given the nature of the last minute stuff that happened with why that match had to happen, they pulled off an extraordinary match, and Forbidden Door was just a excellent experience for me. So I'm going to give that one to Moxley Tanahashi.
Okay, Tony.
Moxley, easily.
Yeah.
That woman's match sucked. And it sucked because of Ronda Rousey. There's only so much that Natty can do with her.
Cheers to that. Great.
I watched the Moxley match back again, and I ranked it too low last week. He didn't do his garbage stuff that he normally does. I thought if for some reason Tanahashi didn't look like the Tanahashi that I'm normally used to, where he just goes in and goes hard. It looked like something was going on. But the Ronda match, if it's true that she might be leaving again, I think she melded in. I think she was gone before she even left. So I would definitely go with the Moxley match.
Did you hear that supposedly she was the one who pushed for the title change at the pay-per-view?
I heard that, yeah.
Well, it looked like it was short notice.
Okay, so would you rank that as a separate match, or is that part of the Natty?
No, that was the cash-in was separate.
Okay,
Yeah, we
the
ranked it
cash-in
as
is
the cash was
separate.
separate.
Okay.
Guess what happened? It didn't even it didn't even make it. So
It looked rushed.
Marcus, what do you think?
I mean, that's easy. The Moxley Tanahashi. I mean, Tanahashi didn't have his best stuff that day, but I mean, compared to the women's match, I mean, out of the 4 wrestlers, Rousey's definitely the worst, and it definitely looked at that particular night. So that's an easy one.
And the way I have it, of course, is Moxley versus Tanahashi. Even though I really am not. Let's say,
Didn't like the match.
yeah. I mean, I would have to say it was better than that Ronda Rousey Natalya match because Natalya carried that girl like a bag of groceries from Kroger.
Yeah, you could have put on a better match than them two did.
No,
We could have.
no, you couldn't.
I resent that. I have
No, I'm
called
playing, I'm
Bobby's
playing.
matches, and he is an excellent worker.
Yeah.
So,
Oh no, when he said we wouldn't, he's
I heard
talking
he
about me.
I heard he takes a mean.
Super kick?
Yeah.
Really,
I'll plead the fifth on that one.
really.
If Seth is the best seller of the RKO, Bobby's the best seller of Super King.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell it right down the river where it don't happen. Anyway, all right. Next matchup, with a score 2.375. The women's Money in the Bank taking on, and this is another shocker. And this is a shock on the AEW side. Jay White, Cole, Page, and Okada with a score 3.0. Yeah.
They had some good matches on that card,
Well, I
though. So
thought well, the threes are. We want to see 4.5s and 5s though.
But that scored a 3.
Yeah, no, I
Scored a
believe
3.
it. I think
wasn't great,
Everything
though.
scored a 3 though.
Marcus, go ahead, go first.
Well, the 4-way was definitely better. To me, there was that Money in the Bank match. Both Money in the Bank matches didn't do anything for me. So that's easy. Even though there was a botch 3 count in that 4-way, but still, and again, because as we said earlier, there were too many guys in that match for people like Okada to really show what they can do. But the 4-way was definitely better.
Okay. Rob, what do you think?
he did that margarita's good.
Yeah, definitely, yes. But
see why he didn't show up last night?
No, this ain't as strong.
yeah,
No, it's not.
this is not the margarita talking, but I'm going to give this one to the women's ladder match. The reason
You
why.
sure it's not the margarita
I'm
talk?
about to throw up.
No,
Yeah, really.
no, the reason I'm going to give it to women's Money in the Bank is because the ending of the IWGP title match was so abrupt, and the pacing of it was thrown off by that so much, and it deflated the crowd when it happened. But that is really the only reason I'm going to give it to women's Money in the Bank. Liv Morgan should not have won that. I would have given it to Asuka instead, or to Becky or whoever.
Not Becky.
But well,
We can't say your phrase here.
that headgear is terrible, but still, I'm going to give it to the women's Money in the Bank because it did have an exciting thing, and when the women do it, they tend to do it right for some reason, and it just barely edges it out. But it's because of the ending to the White, Cole, Page, and Okada match. The ending is what does it. So women's Money in the Bank.
Tony.
I'm not surprised at the low ratings because of the ending of the match, and also for me, I was a little disappointed with it was like Marcus said, it was too many people, and Okada didn't really get to shine. Seeing him live for the first time, and that was it. I didn't think it was a great match, but it was definitely better than the women's ladder match. So even with the messed up ending, and even with it being too many people, and just they didn't all click, but there was too many botches in that women's ladder match. There was just too many botches.
Well, Tony, most ladder matches are going to have botches.
Yep.
And like I said, when you have the
It's just
women
too
doing
many,
what
though.
I expect the men to do, there's that believability thing. But I thought Shotty had some good spots in that match.
Mhm.
I definitely thought Rodriguez looked fantastic. She looks like a feature star. She does. She's playing that Diesel role, that deep but can out wrestle Diesel. We know Diesel was immobile.
Wait. You said out Russell. He could out talk, out walk, out look, out breathe. Yeah, I think that's the way I look at it with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to surprise y'all, and I'm going to take the women's ladder match also. And only because, listen to the names: Okada, White, Page, Adam Cole. These are 4 guys that can headline any pay-per-view at any given time.
Yeah.
And it would have been better for Adam Page versus White. They had a built-in storyline with the Bullet Club. And then you could have had Okada versus Page. We could have separated at the 2 matches and dropped some of them other matches on the show. So I think they overbooked that match, to be honest with you. I think it was an overbooking. My disappointment with the ladies' ladder match is you can't have the worst wrestler in the ring win that match, period. When the girl didn't hit anybody the whole match with those fluff, and she's over. I don't get it. She's over.
It's almost like you forgot she was in it until she got the briefcase.
But that's what they wanted. They wanted her. We probably should have been able to call that one because she was hot. She was rolling going in. They've been pushing her.
Honestly, it should have been Shotzi.
I think Shotzi's next in line. I really do.
I hope so because otherwise they're doing her wrong.
But I'm taking the women's ladder match too. I like this one. Let
me surprise all of you. Yes, I'm going to take the women's ladder match as well. The reason being is because I'm sorry, I'm surprised I'm agreeing with Chris, but I mean,
I'm brilliant.
That was the margarita talking. That was the
margarita,
and that was the margarita talking.
That's so powerful. That's so powerful.
No, but seriously, guys. I mean, you look at Cole. You look at all these guys that are supposed to be top tier people. Now, I don't consider them all top tier people,
but they've been.
But they are top tier people.
They're all main eventers. Yeah. Like whether you agree with it or not, they're all main eventers.
Right, and then you got the women's Money in the Bank that actually got to hang with them. I'm sorry, I'm going to give it to the women for just being there right there evenly with them because to me it was an even thing. Both of them had botches. Both of them was crappy. Both of them did stupid stuff. It was too many people in each match. So I think it was even. You know what I'm saying?
Becky, the women worked hard in that match.
But that's what I'm saying. The women put more effort into that match than the men did. The men were just out there like, la-di-da-di-da. It's like the men's NBA now.
Wow.
You know? I mean, it was. That match was like the men's NBA.
No heart
whatsoever. And the women at least had the heart and put that effort in there. So I'm going to give it to the WWE women.
Yeah, just something. It was something about that match that just went haywire somewhere.
But in the women's match, though, this is not just me hating on Becky, though. But Becky
wouldn't take a bump.
She wouldn't. Like, she phoned it in on that match, though. Like, we talk about the heart of the women. Becky didn't have it. And I'm not even saying that because I can't stand the TBB. But she didn't bring it.
Also, we've had this conversation before where you talk about guys that lead a match and guys that are good listeners.
Yeah.
Well, who leads a match when there's 4 guys wrestling?
That's an answer that goes into a lot more depth.
That's when you plan it out, though, right? You plan out your spots and shit.
Yeah, that's beyond the forbidden.
Yeah, it's too
much.
That's
the door I want. Since you see where I'm going with it.
But since you go on there, let's point this out, though. Who was one of the best female wrestlers out there?
Right now?
Yeah.
Well, Shotzi.
In your opinion, in
my opinion,
you say Natty, right?
Natty and then Doudrop.
But Natty, ring general, she calls matches, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
To his point, though, HBK has a phenomenal match, whether you called her or not. Natty's a phenomenal caller, and that match sucked with Ronda Rousey. It ain't just about the caller.
That's why.
Because Ronda Rousey sucks.
Thank you.
HBK is a phenomenal performer. That's why
No, it ain't. Because guess who he wrestled against? Undertaker.
Look, I don't want to destroy him again.
Undertaker.
You're
gonna compare her to Ronda Rousey?
No.
His
voice is getting high and he's stuttering.
Think about it.
You said caller, so Undertaker's getting compared to Natty. You saying Undertaker made those matches great. Natty's a good caller, but that match was not good. So you can't really fault HBK for not calling a match.
I give you that point.
Damn it. Right. I'm winning even when it was over. I'm still winning. Damn. Thanks, Tony. Hey, that's why they call me the showstopper.
He's getting all his accolades now. We're gonna do this in a second. But I will give you the props on that one. That's true. At least I'm honest about mine. Next matchup. With a score of 3.0, Bianca Belair taking on Carmella. And then it was a tag team match that 6-man tag team for AEW, which was the Jericho Appreciation Society and Suzuki, Kingston, Yuta, and Umino with a score of 3.125. So this was scored pretty close here.
Wow.
Tony, go first on this one.
I'm surprised that the 6-man was okay. Cool. Honestly, I'm gonna take the women on this one though. I actually enjoyed Bianca and Carmella better. Let me rephrase that. Delete that. I enjoyed Bianca better. I thought Bianca really. She carried Carmella to a good match in that one. And the 6-man match didn't do a lot for me, to be honest with you. Even like watching live, it didn't do a whole lot for me. It was a good, I'm not saying it was a bad match, it just I was more into the women.
I will go ahead and agree with you on that. I'm going to take Bianca, and it's not even Carmella because I think Bianca carried more plastic than somebody was cleaning up a beach. I mean, that plastic that she was carrying was ridiculous, and I really wanted someone to smack Corey Graves. He's like, "Oh, Carmella's the most beautiful woman on earth."
Oh, boy.
Does that brother need Obamacare to get some eyeglasses or what?
I just can't believe they let him commentate like that because that breaks some rules. Like,
No, that's not breaking rules. That's breaking intelligence.
well, it's just like when let's say Miss Elizabeth was a commentator while the Macho Man's wrestling. I could see a manager doing that.
Right.
I can't see I'm your boyfriend or husband.
And I was going to put you
but
over.
you know who started doing that?
Jerry Lawler.
No. Moxley. Remember when Dean Ambrose was getting shitted on his way out? All those bad promos. She was speaking up. They took her ass off TV. She was speaking up for her man.
Yeah.
Renee Raquette.
Yeah, but King did it before he did.
Oh, yeah, I believe that too.
King did it before he did.
I think they let that slide with Corey Graves because
I think they tell
of
him to
Miz
do
and
it.
Maurice.
I think
Miz
they tell,
and-
I think they tell him. I think they're encouraging him to do it.
Well, yeah, because of Miz and Maurice, because they're making WWE is making bank on that relationship in one form or another.
How?
So
They just saw
the reality
reality
show.
How?
those things make
I
money.
don't know.
Yeah, they
It's
do make
true.
Instead of being like an owl and saying who, how.
Doesn't
Be-
matter, man.
Because there is no taste in this world anymore.
Good point.
People watch YouTube videos with cysts broken open and
Let's not,
The restaurant.
Like,
and let's not forget.
Hold on, Marcus.
I say let's not forget that they already gave Graves Carmella their own show anyway. They just feeding off that.
They did.
Yeah, they had was it on YouTube or WWE.com
Yeah.
or WWE's YouTube or something? But yeah,
Right,
Thank
so
God, because I didn't see it.
why
I
they're
would've
so,
viewed.
right, that's probably why they're so egregious with it.
I didn't even think about that though. But yeah,
You know what? I mean, you think I puke over Tay Conti and
production,
yeah, I would have.
when
Yeah.
they put the money into it. Even their movies, they actually their production.
Their
Just,
production
it's
is
just
awesome.
different.
Their production is awesome.
You, like now, if the Rhodes have a show WWE style, I guarantee it's gonna
do a hell of a lot better. Yeah,
and he wouldn't have went there unless he's gonna get.
that's
a movie
exactly what he
deal.
went there for.
That's exactly.
That's exactly what he went back
And
for.
that's what he did. I mean, I don't
Marcus,
blame
who
him.
you taking this matchup?
Oh God.
Yeah, I know.
I guess the women for the same reasons you guys said.
Wow,
I
you don't like
guess.
women's matches.
I don't. I know that's how. Exactly.
I got skipped.
Yeah, I know. We going to you.
Oh, my bad.
Calm
I was
down.
holding it in.
Calm down. Hold it. Release.
Okay, can I go?
Release. I said release.
All right. Name the participants in the 6-man match again.
The Jericho Appreciation Society and Suzuki taking on Kingston, Yuta, and Umino.
Yeah, I'm taking that match, and I'm gonna tell you why. Had there not been a pre-show, that would have been the first. That should have been their 6-man match of the night, and then you went back to normal tag team, single matches, maybe a triple threat, for a title. But I thought out of all the matches, they actually let the New Japan wrestlers shine in that match. They had more spots, and that's what I thought the Forbidden Door was about. Bringing these two
Bring out a man
cultures together.
showcasing.
We know we're wrestling fans, especially we're smart fans. We know these guys,
Yeah.
but we've always wanted to see these dream matchups. Some of these guys are past their prime, but I still look at them like the way as a child, or the way I look at Sting and Ric Flair. If I loved you then, I love you now.
That's why we should have seen Muda.
Yeah,
Tony,
I wish we would have.
who did you pick?
I picked the women.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was making
And
sure.
I am picking the 6-man.
You're picking the 6-man. That's why I messed up. Okay.
That's all right. That's all right. I'm picking it because not only like Chris said, the whole point of the pay-per-view was to showcase the New Japan versus AEW matches, but the pace of the match was better on second viewing, and it actually, which we didn't know in the live audience, it was the setup for who got first pick in Blood and Guts, which was a fantastic match.
Yeah.
And if I had, and Jericho's team won so that they could have first pick for Blood and Guts, which is a good follow-through storytelling. As good as Bianca is to carry Carmella to a watchable match, I'm sorry, but Carmella is just a plague on anything that she touches. And I really can't pick her over somebody like
And
Jericho.
you can't, when you put your stars in matches with lesser talent or talent that just doesn't get over, it's gonna make us forget how good Bianca is. She's got to have those matches against Charlotte. I mean, she has to go. She's the world champion. I want to see the best go after her. You know, I hope Ripley gets better. I would like to see her versus Ripley. I want to see her versus Shayna Baszler. I think they've been sleeping on her.
For too long.
Yes.
Yeah.
Way too long.
She should have been their MMA wrestler all this time. And they missed out on the match, Ronda versus Shayna, or having them at least be a faction. Or at least they could have. They knew each other. They came in together.
No, but you could really make
You
that.
have them a faction,
You had a nice long storyline if you put them two together. Though, because they would have been to turn on each
I
other.
agree,
You
but
don't
I
have
wanted
to
to see
have
them
a
fight. I wanted to see them fight.
Oh, it would have happened though. Even if they
And I
put
wanted
them.
Shayna Baszler to beat her down.
Right.
What I don't want to see are, well, we won't see it because Sasha's gone, but I never want to see horsewomen versus horsewomen because we know who's going to win that, and it's going to suck. I never want to see that.
You're right.
Well, it would have sucked.
Bailey
But
needs to bring her butt back.
we know who would have won it, and it would have sucked because Shayna Baszler would have been the only wrestler on that team,
True.
and she can't carry three others.
Exactly. What's
All right.
next, Bob?
All right, let's go to the next one because I think my surprise is definitely going to come in.
All right.
It's going to be Rob is definitely going to enjoy this surprise.
My surprise is gonna be a plate of food pretty soon.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting there too because I got a burrito in my head. The next one. This is where Liv and Ronda Rousey comes in. 3.125.
The cash in.
Yeah, the cash in.
The cash in was separate.
I know, but my God, how did it get ranked?
The surprise element.
Okay.
And Ronda losing the title.
Takes on Pac versus Miro versus Aleister Black versus some dude named Commerce that had a 3.875 ranking that we did. Yes, that match got a 3.875. So
We liked it that much.
with your face like that, who do you pick?
Hey, don't miss no more.
The All Atlantic title match all day long. There is no way in hell that Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey is better than that match, even if it was convoluted, and even if the belt has the wrong name. No, Pac finally getting a belt in AEW alone trumps that match. I'm sorry, but you put Miro, Pac, and who are the other participants in that?
Aleister
Black and who else was it?
That dude Connors, wherever he came from.
Yes,
Yeah.
Connors. Even though I don't even, that was the first time I even saw him. No, the four-man all day long. So that's all I gotta say on that one.
Let Marcus go next. Marcus.
Oh, that's another easy one. The 4-man easily. I mean, at least, and this was a match where most of the guys got to get their stuff in. So I'm definitely going with 4-man.
Tony.
I'm not a big fan of 4-man, and it was really great seeing Ronda Rousey win the title. But it's not even close. The 4-man by far was much better.
Chris.
Sometimes maybe I'm just a black sheep that goes against the grain. This was the only match that should have been a 4-man because it was for a brand new title. So I got it.
Yeah.
This one, and it wasn't as sloppy as I thought it would be.
No, it wasn't.
But Liv Morgan over Ronda Rousey, you can't even put that in the same. It doesn't make. I can't compute it. It doesn't make Liv Morgan over Ronda Rousey. You know, the shock value alone for me was a 4, just because of how terrible I think Liv is.
The shock
And
value, yes.
Ronda actually had her in a submission hold, and she got out of it. So I'm going.
When she had a submission, I'm like, man, she gonna blow
They
it.
should have let her roll out of it immediately. It would have been more believable than let her sit in it for a second. But I have to go with the Liv Morgan cash in, just because if you're going to do a cash in, even if it's on the spur of the moment, that's how you cash it in. You want to surprise and shock the world.
My opinion on this. good Lord. Even though I did enjoy Ronda Rousey losing that belt,
Man, I sure
I
did.
salivated all day long.
We
I
did.
danced into my room. I popped some popcorn. I got hot. I put hot sauce on the
It's probably
popcorn.
That's how I eat it, bro.
I got-
Tabasco.
That's probably my biggest markout moment of Money in the Bank, to be honest with you.
I mean, I put the movie butter and
I like history.
I put the money. I put the movie butter and the hot sauce on it. And you know what? I still gave it to the guys. And you know what? Because the guys, they clowned in that one.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a little bit more sloppy in that match. Because again, I'm not a fan of 4-ways.
Yeah.
But you know what? They did that one right.
And with
They
Miriam
did do
being
that
the big man, they pretty much all had the same style, though. Like they could wrestle the same style of match. Pac, Aleister Black, Cannon. So yeah, I thought it's a tie. If we can put a tie there, change mine to a
No,
tie.
we can't.
No, we can't put
you
a
got.
tie.
You got.
But then I'm going with Liv Morgan over Ronda. I'm
There
going
is no
against the
tie.
grain.
I prefer logical surprises rather than subverting expectations. And Liv Morgan was definitely a subverted expectation. So I'm definitely going with the men on
I'm
that
gonna
one.
create a
but-
new word. A subvergical logical surprise is what the Liv Morgan was.
Now, that
Cheers. Cheers.
I'm-
Good
I'm
adventure.
going to say this straight up. All right. That Liv Morgan thing was to make some older guys happy that don't have a woman at home to be able to stare at the TV and cheese.
No,
That's what that was. I'm
Over
sorry.
Liv?
Yeah, Liv.
I thought you were talking about Vince McMahon. I said he'll just pay for it.
Oh, don't get me started up with that. I'm moment of the week is coming. I'm going to get there. I've got that.
I don't care when it comes up. I got a lot to say about Vince.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
And
amazing.
who I think it was back in 05.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're getting.
That's an easy one. I almost think.
Yeah, we'll
All right.
get there.
Next matchup.
Next match.
Let's go.
Lashley versus Theory with a score of 3.25. Taking on Roppongi Vice, United
Okay.
Empire, and FTR.
Time out. You want another margarita?
I'm good. If we get another one.
Yes, I would love. Yes.
We got some time left.
That's the main bill.
You want another picture?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Gracias.
And
Thanks, Juan.
They're not.
Okay, what was the match?
No, he says
Lashley
Jose.
versus Theory, taking on Roppongi Vice, United Empire, and FTR. Marcus, go first.
Well, that's the easy one. The tag teams. I mean, I was glad that FTR won. I mean, when Hardwood came back, I mean, I was ecstatic. You know, there was two, the Theory versus Lashley. We all know what ends up happening, so it explains it. And I was glad Lashley won, but I'm going with the tag teams.
Rob.
FTR victory all day long. That match was terrific in my eyes, and even though I had trouble pronouncing Roppongi Vice all night, that was an excellent match. And now you want to talk about subverting expectations. I thought because of politics, FTR was going to lose, but now they're champions on 3 continents, and the match itself was phenomenal. Now, the Theory and Lashley was better than I ever expected it would be, but I'm sorry, FTR all day long.
Tony.
I mean, I agree with him. Theory and Lashley definitely exceeded expectations, but it's not even close. What they did with the match, the injury, is it going to be one person representing FTR, the return, the win, everything about it? No, FTR all day on that.
And Chris?
Of course, the FTR match, but I will say honorable mention to the Theory.
Yeah.
Last match. What makes me mad about WWE, they always miss the boat on Lashley. He makes a better heel than he does a babyface. He always has. Now they're trying to wrestle him as a babyface with heel tendencies,
And they're trying to force feed the babyface too.
It's not.
And they're force feeding the babyface
If
stuff.
they would just go back to Impact Lashley and put him in a faction, he does not need to talk on the microphone ever again.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be more believable, but I'm going with the FTR match. My bad, man. You said Jose, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
And what's your pick?
My pick, of course, is going to be FTR.
Please forgive me, brother.
FTR winning is just the most accomplished thing there is on earth.
Especially when Robert told us he couldn't win.
Yeah, I can't.
And
I
you
can't.
listened.
No,
Wow.
it's his voice. It's so wrestling soothing. I'm just like, he sounds like a Gordon Soley, a young.
Wow.
Thank you.
Next matchup. Men's Money in the Bank with a score of 3.375. Taking on Zach Azabache Jr. and Cesaro with a score of 4.5. Marcus, go first.
What was the match? What was it?
The Men's Money in the Bank with a score of 3.375. Taking on Zach Azabache Jr. and Claudio Castagnoli.
That's easy. The Claudio versus Zach match. I mean, it was great ring. The audience popped when Claudio came out. I mean, that's easy.
All right, now, Rob.
This is a tough one for me because the men's ladder match was actually pretty good. But just because of the sheer excitement and skill between the two guys, I'm going to give it to Sabre and Claudio. But it's a close one because I was upset that my prediction was wrong.
Tony.
On this one, I agree with Rob about the men's Money in the Bank. It was a really, really good match. I think what took away from it was Theory winning, though, because as soon as he came out, we knew. Yeah.
Yeah.
And being there live for Claudio return, I mean, it was just electrifying, though. So I can't.
It was.
I mean, just for that alone, it's not even close.
Right.
Claudio return.
Chris.
Go against the grain again. I'm gonna say something about the Claudio. I hope he is another one of these WWE guys that we're like, now he'll get a chance to shine. Because the whole roster's filled with guys we were like, now they'll get a chance to shine.
And they don't shine.
Exactly. I don't want him to, he is one of the top 10 wrestlers in the world, in my opinion. He replaced the clothesline with his European uppercut, which is probably one of the best I've ever seen in the sport. But I'm going to go with that men's Money in the Bank match, just for the simple fact Seth Rollins took that RKO off the top of the ladders.
Yes.
That you can give me with one big pop, and I'll love them. I'll forget all the little things I didn't like about a match. And it's like playing golf. You play to hit that one good shot sometimes because we're scratch golfers. You know what I mean? I thought that was the show stealing move out of both pay-per-views.
I was on the fence with that one too, but yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Okay, my thing on this,
But I love Claudio.
I mean, the Money in the Bank men's ladder match was awesome, but I'm sorry, the technical aspect of Cesaro versus Zach Azabache Jr. just got me. I love technical wrestling. I love watching that. It is, to me, that is the actual fundamentals of the sport of professional wrestling. I can't go against fundamentals versus flying off a ladder. Sorry.
I'll be honest with you, though.
If I
wasn't there live, I might have picked Men's Money in the Bank because that match was really good, though. It's just that energy when we watched it, though, was incredible.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to this next one because we only got a minute left. Usos versus Street Profits taking on Cassidy and Ospreay. Usos versus Street Profits has a 4.5. Cassidy Ospreay is a 4.75. Marcus, go first.
Oh, I wish we could pick a tie for this.
No ties.
But man, just to be quick, I'm going with Ospreay versus Cassidy.
Wow. Okay. Rob.
I have to give it to Cassidy and Ospreay because there was so much meat to that match, and Cassidy actually turned it on for once, and when he does that, he rocks. So he and Ospreay together, yes. Although the Usos Street Profit match was damn good, but it was just that much more.
Johnny.
For the record, watching it last week, I gave both matches 5s.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm giving this one to the Usos and the Street Profits. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed both of them. Like I said, and that's what I said. Like I gave both 5s, but I'm gonna give it to the Usos and the Street Profits on this one.
Okay.
Chris.
I had to choose. I had to pick one.
I'll be real quick. I'm gonna give it to Cassidy and Ospreay. and they're just going to edge it out because we may never see that match again. We're going to see the Usos and the Street Profits
for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, we're going to see them feud for a while, and hopefully that's not the height. Hopefully they can take it to another level every time they wrestle.
Yeah.
Usos do with the New Day, so
my quick one. I mean, I'm just gonna go with the Usos. I mean, I'm sorry, the Street Profits brought it for me in that match.
They did.
yeah.
They shocked me.
Dawkins.
I predicted what was gonna happen when it came to Orange Cassidy and Ospreay. I said they were probably gonna be. You'd remember that. I said it was going to be match of the night.
But you also
Said that.
you also
Orange was
lost
no
you also
man.
lost some food on that match too.
Yeah, I know. I don't care. I don't care. I would love to lose food on that match by being right. Then you know, I mean, it was a good match.
No, it was. It really was.
But the shock value of Usos versus Street Profits shocked me.
Yeah.
I did not
We
think
weren't
it
expecting
on the
that.
show.
We weren't
Dawkins
expecting that.
Yeah, because they keep giving it the floor. Dawkins put on that show, man. Dawkins put on that show 100%. So
Like I said, they're the new age Harlem Heat.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dawkins is Stevie Ray.
all right.
Better.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I got a surprise coming up.
Oh, cool.
This guy means a lot to me. This gentleman has been everywhere and anywhere. He's a former WCW wrestler. This gentleman brought me into the business, whooped me all over arenas all over the place. Oh, God.
Boy, was that a mistake.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. Had
Oh,
to carry
no.
your big ass.
Yeah, you had to carry me. Get out of here. Okay, at first you did. I will admit that at first you did. But when we talk about the independent scene being robbed, these are the gentlemen that I'm talking about that work their butt off in these independent scenes, work hard, bust their behinds, do things to bring younger people up, like you see, like a Shotzi Blackheart, like
Ruby Soho.
Austin, what's that dude with the card that was in the Young Guns tournament? Austin something. He was his first name is Austin, but he's in Impact right now. Congo Kong. I mean, this gentleman has wrestled a lot of these gentlemen. I had the fortune to be under his tutelage for a little bit and get my butt whooped and learn a lot from this gentleman. He is definitely an encyclopedia of wrestling. He goes all the way back to the Dick the Bruiser days. He is superstar TJ Powers.
What's fellas?
What's up, brother?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, Cold Dust.
Oh, God.
What do you call you?
Oh, Dust. You want to tell him that story right
I
quick?
can say, but
All right, here's what it was. We were at was it WCWO, wasn't it, Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were sitting there. We were just ribbing each other and shit. And he looked at me, and this is when I had darker hair and a dark mustache and everything. He called me Magnum PI.
And
I turned around, and looked at him, and I said, "What the hell are you talking about, Cold Dust?"
Oh, good God.
When you put Bob in a room and he closes his eyes, he disappears.
Oh.
You're my brother, though, aren't you, Bob?
Yes, I am.
That's right.
oh, Cold Dust.
There you go, guys. Now you got a new name for him.
Oh yes, yes. Thank you.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Well, TJ, what's up, man?
Oh, not a whole lot, dude. Just got over this knee surgery. Got myself being back in the ring for a little bit, and put VIP back together at WCWO, and we're rocking and rolling.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow.
So
I got Vinny, Itch, me, and Baron Von Kane.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh,
That's the new VIP.
so how's that going right now?
So far so good. I called Joey out, Joey Ken Owens. I called him out last week. I'm gonna see if he takes the offer. So far, I haven't heard anything.
I have been following Vinny on Facebook, and I did hear some rumblings about the new VIP in WCWO. It sounds like you guys are taking charge and kicking ass.
Yeah, we're I mean, okay, we're all the old guys pretty much, if you want to look at it that way. I mean, that's the way the fans look at it. That's all they can't come up with anything original, but just pick on our age, which I could care less. But that's neither here nor there. But no, we're doing all right. we're going to run rush out over WCWO. They better take notice. I mean, even them young kids, you know, we ain't had none of them wanting to step up to the plate yet, though. That's for sure. I got one's getting a little mouthy. I might have to put a check mark on him, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, that's the one thing that I do know. You can definitely write checks that your behind can cash.
I'll cash every one of them.
Yes, you can. Let me ask you a question. I mean,
Go ahead.
These guys, these two to my side right here, they have not been into an independent, independent show to where it's like WCWO. They've been to a couple, but they haven't been to that atmosphere like WCWO has. Let me ask you, can you describe to them that feeling when you walk out? Because I can, but of course I'm going to be kind of biased because I've been through that curtain. Can you tell them what that feeling is like?
Well, you know, when I started, okay, I've been doing this 35 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
85. 86.
so when I started doing this, the only time that I was ever mesmerized about going out into the crowd is when I first started, when I was with WWF. And but after that, when I came back and got into the independents, when I went through the crowd, I never really I don't know. I get into my character, and as soon as I walked through the curtain, it was like, you know, you paid to see me. I didn't pay to see you. So I got a job to do. I got to go do it. I don't. But it's really nice when you step out behind the curtain and you see a full house, because you know that the full house, you're going to work harder and put more into it, because it's just the energy from the fans to you make you want to be better. What's going on now is the young kids, which all the kids down there at WCWO, I ain't got a bad thing to say about none of them. Not one. And you know me, Bob. If there's something bad down there, I'm going to let you know about it.
Yep, I know.
So all these kids are great. They're all respectful. They all and they treat me with the utmost respect, you know. So but the problem is when they get out into when they get into the ring, they acknowledge the audience, but once they start working, they forget about the audience.
I agree.
To where guys like me and Itch and Vinny and Kid and Pogo and Baron and everything, we're not worried about each other in the ring because we know what we have to do.
Yep.
You know, it's what are we going to do to these people out here to either one, make you like you real well, or one, to piss them off.
And that's one of the fundamentals that I learned from him. I remember when I very first started, and we had our first match, and we was done with our first match. I will never forget this. He was like, because he knew I was nervous. He knew I was nervous as I don't know what. Especially after he superplexed me off the top rope and made me lose my breath. But
yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Bob's biggest problem was when he started was because he's so tall, he would slouch. And me and Itch both try to tell, dude, stand up. You're big. Be big.
Yep.
And once he learned that he's a big guy and he can to make himself that, he became a whole lot better than what he was.
Yep, sure did.
You know, his balancing got better, his timing got better because he was standing up. He wasn't trying to squat down to some guy that's, you know, only 5'9".
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You know,
my buddy Chris right here has a question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
When you said 35 years in the game, I always think they call it old school wrestling. Would you say the training back then is different than the training these young wrestlers get today?
Oh, definitely.
It seemed like you guys were learning from greats in their own right. You know, the wrestling schools, you guys were learning from guys that had put 30, 40 years in and would stretch you out. It seems like these kids now, they don't want to take a punch. They barely want to take a bump anymore, but they want to flip off the top rope.
Right. You're absolutely correct. I mean, it's definitely a different deal. When I was being trained, it was all basically just basics. I mean, it was until we got to the advanced deal where we started suplexing and body slams and carrying on like that. But now it's more, how's it going to look on camera? You know, to me, I need to know where the camera's at because I can work the camera,
Right.
but I'm not trying to impress the camera. You know, you're going to, for me, and see, and that's the big deal, you know, people, when they would wrestle me, they would always try to figure out what I'm going to do, and you can't.
No, you can't.
Because for one, I have not a clue what I'm going to do when I crawl through the ropes. Nothing.
Oh.
I don't have a game plan. I don't have a mission. I don't have anything till I get started.
It's old school. You call it on the fly.
You know, well, you know what? Sometimes I don't call it. I just do it.
Hold on. Wait. That reminds me of a name. Let me wait till you drink your beer before I say this name. Rampage Radisson.
Yeah. What about him?
When you say you're not gonna plan anything, you're just gonna do it.
Correct.
That was the most beautiful thing I've seen in my life. This guy Rampage Radisson just thought he's just King Glory. All right, he think he's the dominant dude. He can run off, and it was Rock and Kate that made that tag team. But he ended up having to wrestle TJ. I looked at TJ. He just looked at me and said, "Well, time to go to work." Went right out there and tossed.
Well, you kind of left out a whole bunch of that story. You really did. So here, let me tell the story. You want me to tell it?
Go ahead. Tell it.
Well, me and Rampage, we had been doing the Facebook Live videos back and forth. You know, and he always did. He always tried to act like he was trying to intimidate somebody, going and all that kind of garbage.
Yeah.
So I challenged. He had an open challenge. I challenged him for his belt. Well, he didn't want to do it. Well, we were at the show you're talking about there in the park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody had told me that he said, "Well, this is what I'm going to do to TJ when I get him in the ring."
What was he looking
What's wrong?
And they came and told me what he said.
Oh.
I said, okay. And well, his game didn't work out right. I knocked him out with a clothesline.
Oh.
Yeah, I clotheslined him and went to pick him up, and he said, "No, I can't see."
Wow.
Yeah.
You clotheslined him blind.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's nothing.
See, what a lot of people don't realize, especially like with WCWO, when it started, when I was with WCWO, when you came into WCWO, you had to wrestle me first.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't wrestling anybody else. If you wrestled me first and came back, we knew you were going to stick around. If you didn't come back, well, we didn't care. If you didn't come back, we just didn't care.
You were the
But the
gatekeeper.
thing about it is, what people don't realize is I was a lot meaner back in the day. I've kind of mellowed out a little bit as I got a little older and got smarter about this, but I was really mean back in the day. And I learned that from the old guys.
Yeah.
Bruiser and Crusher and oh Jesus and oh Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
No telling who else, Valiant and all these kind of guys. And it was just, if you're going to be a heel, be a mean one.
Yeah, the guys who ruled Indianapolis when it was hot. Superstar, I got a question for you. Let's talk about heat. Specifically, guys like you and Itch.
Nuclear.
Yeah, exactly. Now, we know what old school heat used to be. Is it harder to get that now that kayfabe is dead? Do you have to do things differently in order to get the crowd to experience that now?
Well, the only difference is that the crowds are just a lot smarter because of Vince.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, he's pretty much put it out there that it's a work. You know, but you know, even though it's a work, they still don't. A lot of them realize it, and a lot of them still don't. That ring hurts. Yeah. Okay, it's coming. We just said it the best. This is a contact sport. Shit's gonna hurt. Period. There's no way around it. If I pick you up and slam you, it hurts. I don't care how much pads on the ring. I don't care how much give it's got. It hurts.
That's true.
So to get the old school, you can still get the heat with the fans. It's just you got to like with it. It's perfect for Itch because he's mouthy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
Oh
way to put it.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, you give Itch a mic and he'll piss off everybody in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where my entire career, I never talked in the ring. It seemed like when I walked through the curtain, people immediately did not like me. Well, one of my wives said it best. This job suits you perfect because you're an asshole. So, you know, and it worked. And I didn't. I didn't start actually talking back to the crowd probably in the last 5 years, maybe.
Yeah.
I never said a word hardly. I would look at people and give them the look like, I'm the hell you're yelling at me for? You paid the ticket. I didn't. You know, I looked at it as a job. There was two different sides of TJ Power. TJ Power's in the ring and TJ Power's out of the ring. Once I got in the ring, it was work. I had a job to do, come in there and kick the shit out of you, and I can go home. That's the way I looked at it. I mean, that's the way it was bred into me working with Bruiser. It's a job. Get in there, get done, get the hell out. And I just didn't care. I mean, I traveled all over the place. I did a lot of work in Chicago and shit, and they were calling me. I wasn't calling them. I never called to play. You know, kids nowadays, they'll call promoters and try to get booked. I never called one promoter in my life. I mean, granted, they're not ringing my phone off the hook right now, but I really don't care. I like working for WCWO. I like working down there.
Well, check this out. Anything else you want to say before you get up out of here? Because we got to get back to this broadcast.
Yeah, happy birthday, butthead.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, man.
The one and the only.
Dude.
TJ Powers, man.
TJ.
Hey, it's nice meeting all you guys, and I hope you have a good show, and I'll see y'all later.
Hey, it was good meeting you, sir.
Hey, TJ.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Let me say this.
Appreciate it.
And I'm going to say this in front of everybody.
Go ahead.
Because everybody, I never got to say this to you, man. I would not be here right now where I'm at if it wasn't for you.
Well, thank you, Bob. I appreciate it. I did my best with you.
Yeah, I know. And I still suck, so.
I'll let Itch take care of that part.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, man.
Mr. Powers, did you ever see Shawn Michaels super kick?
Do what now?
Have you ever seen him
He
get
won't
super
understand
kick?
that. He won't understand that joke. He knows I hate Shawn Michaels, so he thinks Shawn Michaels super kicked me back in the day or something for me to hate him. So I don't know. He's been drinking some margaritas.
Maybe he
Just
hit
let
you
him.
with that clothesline and knocked you out. Blunt.
He did.
Hey, you know what happens when you drink tequila, big guy?
What up?
Your clothes come off.
Hold on. I want to tell this story real quick with him sitting here so you know that it's true. The first match I had against him, right?
Yeah.
I know he wanted to test me. I knew he wanted to test me. He whips me off the ropes, and I say, okay, he's going to close. What the heck? He clotheslined me so hard. I saw not only stars, I saw birds. I saw planets. I mean, it was molecules was in the air. I mean,
I learned my clothesline from the Steiners.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta have a show on this clothesline.
and guess where I learned my clothesline from?
CJ Powers.
Him.
TJ Powers.
Yeah.
Superstar.
He's
TJ Powers.
the one who taught me how to lay it in there, and ever since then, I did.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do it, do it.
True.
Uh-huh.
All right, TJ, thank you so much for stopping by.
Oh, no problem, brother. I'll talk at you later.
All right, I love
All
you.
right. See you guys.
Fantastic, sir.
Have a good one.
You too.
That is the man right there, superstar TJ Powers.
Thank you,
Dude.
Bobby.
The
That was
cool thing
excellent.
is because
That was
like
excellent.
Chris, same boat as me, don't really know the independence, but you talk about him so much.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was meeting him. You know what I mean?
We're gonna
Well,
start
not
having him
only
come
that,
on there.
No, but I mean, but you always talk
Oh,
about him.
wait
Yeah.
until he gets Itchcoma Weeder on here.
No, he
That
probably
will
won't be on.
Oh, well.
He don't know how to control his mouth.
And I do?
He's worse than you.
Oh, God.
That's very
Hold on,
true.
Really, Mom?
Time out.
Really?
I can swear to
Sounds
that.
like a great ass show to me.
I can swear to that. Itch has a mouth
If I
on
could
him.
do it where I wasn't getting sponsors or trying to get
Yeah.
sponsors, I would have him on. But that man
Wait.
cusses so much, he makes
Here's
him
the
look
sad,
like a number.
wait,
No.
here's the sad part about it. You said that. My mom's like, oh God, like, do that person even exist?
Yes,
No,
it
no,
does.
yes.
It does.
No, in fact, that man can paint Rembrandts with Carlin's 7 dirty words. I can swear to that. He can paint Rembrandts with Carlin's 7.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
No.
Bobby, what is next on our agenda?
Oh.
Butt cheeks.
Well, Marcus,
It's the one-on-one time.
it's that time.
Marcus, you talked about how bad this booking is so bad. You
I'm
Bring it.
0-2, so you gotta come.
Oh,
Oh, two.
You haven't won one yet.
How haven't I?
well, you did lose the HBK one. What's the other one he lost?
That's what I'm saying.
I thought he did the. Y'all did the Hogan one, didn't
No,
you?
me and him did. He lost on the Hogan one.
And then didn't him and you do one?
Now, wait a minute. How did that go
We didn't do
down?
one.
No, I thought you won on the other one.
No,
You
Okay.
repeated yourself.
Okay.
But back,
he repeated
but back,
himself.
back,
Like he said,
Back to the problem
It was
at hand.
facts.
back to the matchup at hand. 1-on-1. It's the second part of the double header. We have a topic about Tony Khan's booking. Marcus is going to talk about how Tony Khan's booking is bad, and I'm going to bring a different aspect to it. So, Marcus, you got 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, let's start with the meaningless, pointless factions. I think they have had about anywhere from 7 to 10 factions in the 3 years they've been on the air. And of all those factions, not one person has became a standalone star out of those factions, which is the whole point of a faction. Okay. And then let's talk about all the gimmick matches, 3-way matches, 4-way matches, hair versus hair, lights out match. I mean, Tony Khan has made the gimmick match meaningless. I mean, they did a gimmick within a gimmick. The Owen Hart tournament, that's the gimmick. And within the Owen Hart tournament, they have a ladder match. Pointless. Let's talk about all the stars that come in from WWE and wherever and can't get over, can't do anything. Let's look at the way Malachi Black came. He had a great program with Cody. He was over. Okay, then what happens? Nothing. Let's look at the way Keith Lee came in. He came in hot. Now look at him. Nothing. Let's look at Brian Danielson. He was the best thing they had going for about a month. Now he's in another faction where he's muzzled. That was the best thing about him at the time. His promos, that was great. Now they took that away from him. Let's look at how they booked Hangman Page. He goes from a faction, a drunk, to being in a group, a faction where I'm not in the faction, but I'm just with you guys. Okay, and then he disappears, comes back, wins the battle royal. Now he's the champ. No build up, no nothing. Okay, let's look at how they did Miro. He comes in with bleached blonde hair and a pink Minnie Mouse shirt. Now you're telling me he's a monster. Okay, let's look at Trent Beretta. You're telling me he's a badass, but he arrives in a match being driven in his mom's minivan. Okay, but you're telling me he's a badass. Okay, I mean his program has no direction. Let's look at this. I mean, instead of just stripping CM Punk of the title because he's hurt, you come up with an interim champion on 2 occasions. Okay, and then you have your first interim champ was a TV champ, Cody. and then you're having a unification match 2 weeks later. I mean, what was the point? Okay, now why instead of with this new interim champion, and you get somebody over like Cole, like Miro, you give it back to Moxley again. So instead of looking forward to a classic heel versus a face, you're telling us for the moment you're going to have a face versus a face. I mean, why? Why give it to Moxley again? He's already had a title run. Let's let somebody else get over. What I mean, he can't. I mean, let's look at the way he's booking Wardlow. I mean, he had a great build-up, and then you put him in a match with 20 guys.
1 minute.
And how did you do it? He put one guy on his back, and then you stack 3 guys on his stomach, and you pin 4 guys at once. Way to build off the coming off the MGA feud. Way to build up on him, and instead of just going straight into the program for the TNT title. I mean, he just has no way of knowing what he's doing. I don't understand why Jade Cargo has baddies, especially when one of them is Red Velvet, the first person he had a program with. Now they're girls. No explanation whatsoever. How many times?
15 seconds.
How many times has Lance Archer gone from face to heel? No explanation whatsoever. I mean, guys turn face and heel all the time. No explanation, no direction, no
time.
Nothing.
All right. So I guess it's my turn.
Good job, dude.
And we will start it now. So we're going to talk about face turns versus face turns versus face turns. I got the biggest face turn that you could talk about that switches backwards and forwards more than a tennis match from Serena Williams. And that's the Big Show.
I mean, what the Big Show got to do with this?
Yeah, I mean, how many times did he turn face to heel?
Well, we're talking about Tony Khan at AEW.
Right. But my thing is, to say Tony Khan is bad booking is trying to say Vince McMahon is good booking. That's the way it looks.
I didn't take it like that.
I took it like that.
Okay.
I took it like that. So let me go ahead and read a list off to you about how many times Vince McMahon has screwed up booking, because if you compare him booking, the only person you can compare is Vince McMahon, since he's the only one that's been out there for the longest. Let me name some names here. Shelton Benjamin, Cesaro, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Big E, Eli Drake, which is now Max Dupree. Yeah, I know. Ciampa, Matt Morgan, Zack Ryder, Dean Malenko, R-Truth, Taz, Scott Steiner, Terry Taylor. We just said the Big Show. Dustin Rhodes, Ricochet. That's a big one. You can't sit up here and say Ricochet should be treated the way he has, and he's been treated like dirt, and has not been able to book him no type of way, no type of form, no how. Finn Balor, Mustafa Ali, Bray Wyatt, Muhammad Hassan, Mr. Kennedy, Samoa Joe to a point, Velveteen Dream to a point, Bobby Fish, Branson Reed, Tyler Breeze, Fandango. Yes, Fandango, I said it. He was a darn good wrestler. They treated him like trash. Buddy Murphy, Otis especially is a slip right there. You can shake your head all you want to. Otis should have been a big.
I thought this was about Tony Khan.
I was thinking the same thing too.
It is. Hold on, let me tie it in.
Let him do it.
The women, Naomi, Sasha, Doudrop, Nikki Ash, Mickey James, Ruby Riott, Mercedes Martinez, Chelsea Green. We see Chelsea Green live at All In.
Yes.
This is the thing. Awesome Call.
She got pregnant.
No, she left because they were treating her like crap, and she even said it. The thing is this. When you talk about booking, this is the one thing that you have to remember. First of all, when you try to compare booking, or you try to say Tony Khan is a bad booker because you're comparing it to something else, Vince McMahon been doing this for 30 years and he still sucks. All right? If you want to look at Tony Khan, he's really only been doing it since
2018.
No, he wasn't even doing it then. It started in 2020. If you remember when AEW started, the EVPs was booking the show. So all the earlier stuff that you can sit up there and say, oh, this was terrible, that was terrible, that falls on the EVPs. That falls on the Young Clucks. It's the truth. They are the Young Clucks. Kenny, I like the small Chinese girl to come around and knock out a 300-pound chick, Omega. I know you like the Yoshis, but I'm just keeping it 100% real.
Okay.
You talk about believability. That wasn't believable
They're
at all.
only good on happy endings.
Yes, they are.
Yes,
And only got a bit left, and you gonna sit up here and say that. And I'm sorry, Cody Rhodes to a point when it came to the men's caliber booking. Those three guys had control until 2020. And after 2020, you cannot sit there and tell me that it did not get a lot better when he started taking over the booking. It did. Everybody said it improved. So to sit up here and try to blame Tony Khan for the first few years is just
My man.
Now, my thing is this. Tony Khan does some wild stuff. Tony Khan has only been at it for what? Technically a year and a half? Almost 2 years now? So for a 2-year person to sit up there and say he sucks when he hasn't had a chance to develop and to be that booker because he's learning on the job, it's kind of redundant. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to make stupid mistakes. It's going to happen. But that's just the nature of booking. You're not going to know somebody's a superstar right off top. You're not. But if you've been at it for 30-something years, you should. Your rebuttal? 5 minutes.
I'm a little confused about where that went. But if you're going to compare, I mean, okay, let's compare when the Hardys came in. I mean, Tony Khan was handed a ready-made program with the Young Bucks. Now, at the point now that because we all knew Jeff was going to mess up, that opportunity is ruined. Let's look at how they booked FTR when they first came in. Abysmal. I don't care. You can say it's EVPs if you want.
Preach.
Tony Khan has already taken credit for being the main booker. If that's the case, we can sit up here and say Vince wasn't even the head booker. It was what's his name? Patterson. Okay, if anything, Tony Khan was the main booker. Okay, he's always taking credit. He was awarded the Booker of the Year when he first started. Okay, so don't give me the EVPs. No, Tony Khan needs to own it. That was his booking. He should know he don't know what he's doing. You bring somebody in. At least Vince was smart enough to have Pat Patterson do it. Tony Khan isn't that smart. He thinks he knows what he's doing. He sucks. I mean, he's had so many opportunities to improve on a party. He has not built any stars as of yet. If we're going to compare, at least Vince was smart enough to use Goldberg as an attraction. So even when Goldberg came out, yeah, he did 5 same moves, but at least it meant something when Goldberg come out. How about let's use Sting that way? Why is Sting being used as a mid-card guy with Darby Allin, who has not done anything for Darby Allin's career at all? Darby Allin could be in the same position without Sting as he is now. Why not use Sting 4 or 5 times a year and let it mean something when he actually wrestles? Okay, he's 60-something years old. He don't need to be on TV every damn week against a bunch of mid-carders and below.
I know.
If we're going to compare, okay, at least he lets Goldberg, Lesnar, those guys, it means something when they wrestles. Sting, Tony Khan has nobody like that. He doesn't use Big Show. He doesn't use Mark Henry. He's paying them all this damn money and doesn't do anything with them. It's time to get it on. Really? You paying Mark Henry all that damn money just for that? Okay, let them make a special appearance now then. Let Mark Henry put Powerhouse Hobbs on. How about that? How about Mark Henry put over Keith Lee? You know, make it mean something.
I'd love to see that match.
Exactly. I mean, but yet, that's what he used Goldberg for. If we're going to compare, that's what he uses Goldberg for. You know, again, he doesn't have that kind of booking sense to do that. We're going to let Sting come out and wrestle the Acclaim. Really? That's what he's doing with Sting. I mean, so if we're going to compare booking, Tony Khan is far worse a booker than Vince McMahon. If that's what we're going to turn this debate into. And matter of fact, I can end it on that.
Okay. You done? Okay.
The defense rests.
I wish I was in on this one.
Man, I would have went a whole different direction with the rebuttal.
Let me kick it in now.
It is another loss, though, Bobby. I'm just trying.
No, it ain't.
Let's hit this rebuttal.
It better be
So
good.
we can sit up here and you said that Tony Khan has not made any stars. Jade Cargill, Wardlow, MJF. And he was the one who saw after, because I think you get your times mixed up, but after he took over booking, that's when FTR started flourishing. Now, it did take CM Punk to come in. It did take Daniel Bryan to come in. But once he saw that, because he got exposed to it, he said, okay, this is the direction I need to go. You can't go into a direction to get to a place if you don't know the street is not paved. He showed to go through that direction, to go there and make them stars. Wardlow just got the TNT belt. Who heard of Wardlow before now? Nobody. Jade Cargill brought her up from off top. You know what I'm saying? And his strategy is this. I'm going to take guys that have been misused and mistreated and try to make them something. Now, don't get me wrong. He does take a long time doing it. He does take a long time. He tries that long-term booking. But again, he's only done it for a year and a half, or 2 years. Let's give him 2 years. 2020.
3.
How's it 3? Because he hasn't been doing it. But it wasn't all in. That's what I'm saying. The EVPs was booking there. So you can't count it until he fully took over control of the booking, which was actually January of 2020. So 2.5 years.
Okay.
But was he getting credit for booking?
He didn't get that until he took over the booking.
Okay.
So
All right.
that's the other point I want to make. You said, "Oh, well, how did he get booking the year?" He got that once he took over the booking, because EVPs wasn't doing the job. It wasn't before he took over the booking. That was after he took over the booking. Good. I mean, Big Show. You say, well, why did he use Big Show? Why did he use Mark Henry as an attraction? Because he would have. That's a double-edged sword that you're trying to pull out there, and he's trying to be different. Because guess what? If he would have did that, they would have said, "Well, guess what? He's trying to do the same thing WWE's doing." That's the biggest argument. So if he damned if you do and damned if you don't. You know, I'm sorry. Tony Khan, I'm not saying he's the best booker in the world. I would never say that. But I don't think he has bad booking. My point is, I think we can't evaluate his booking yet until another year or so from now. He has time and more experience to play with the toys to see what you can do with it. At the 5-year mark, we could come back to this conversation. If he's still doing the same dumb stuff, I will agree with you 100%. But right now, he does not have enough time in to evaluate his booking, because booking a wrestling show is not something that you can do overnight.
That's not an excuse. The
Yes,
argument
it
is he's bad booking right now. So you can't use that as an
Yes, it
Then
is.
you shouldn't even have this argument. You should say, in 5 years, we'll come back to it, because I'm not going to count any of his bad
What did
booking
I just say?
No, but we're
did I
doing
just
it
say?
now. The topic is now.
Right.
And right
And
now,
my
he's not
argument
doing
is
it.
you make an argument for it because you need 5 years.
No, you can't, though.
You can't.
If I work at a job for 5 years
If
and
you
I'm a
work at the
shitty
job-
cop the first year, they
Which
can
they
call
use-
me a shitty cop. You can't go, well, let's see what kind of cop he turns into in 5 years.
So
You
okay,
can
so
say-
you're gonna put a cop as the same
No, I'm using a
evaluation.
metaphor.
But you can't.
Yeah.
Booking a show is totally different than being a cop. Because
we got about a minute.
no, but he already interrupted it.
I'm
So
sorry.
we just go.
Well, no, you let Tony say.
But did I say hold on and then I went on?
My bad. I couldn't.
But my thing is this: you're trying to put a police officer's job that has already rules, regulations, and a platform right that has rules, regulation, and a platform that you go by that you must adhere to do your job.
No,
booking a wrestling show does not have that type of
that you're still answering a question. You guys are debating right now.
I agree with him. Right now, you're debating on the job he's doing as a booker right now.
That's all I'm saying.
And my argument is you can't evaluate
and
that.
You lost me when you said he's trying to be different. It's hard to be different from WWE when you keep bringing their wrestlers in. It's the same thing WCW did.
No, you can't be different.
That WWE literally had to go into the Attitude Era because WCW was taking their top talent.
Okay, gentlemen, what we're arguing about here,
like WWE right now.
what we're arguing about here right now is inexperience versus incompetence.
But no.
Tony Khan
here's my
is-
thing though.
It
was just the experience.
Let
The
him
debate
finish.
was only the experience. Vince, I don't know how Vince got in this.
Because you can't. How can you say he's the best booker
I don't know.
with somebody?
Well, let's compare him to TN Impact's booking then.
My whole thing is like
Better than Impact.
just because Vince is a
Better
bad
than Impact. Am I
Who
right?
watches Impact?
But here's the thing, like because one person's doing it worse, that make him bad.
I do.
I mean, I make him good.
I just watch wrestling.
No, that's a good thing, and I should do more
But
of that.
go ahead, Rob.
Okay, the point that you bring up, Bobby, is that to compare Vince McMahon's booking to Tony Khan's booking is like comparing a Rembrandt to something I would draw. And the problem there is that when Rembrandt screws something up, it's a profound error, whereas I'm just taking baby steps. Tony Khan is taking baby steps. And I agree with your point that he hasn't been doing it long enough and that we need to give them, the AEW in particular, a honeymoon experience in order to give what we need to give out of the experience. However, Marcus has a very good point in that what Tony is doing right now is making too many unforced errors. And
I got something on that one. Go ahead.
no, okay, but yeah, Tony Khan is making unforced errors because of his inexperience. And what you're arguing is that we should excuse those things to a point because of his inexperience. But we're talking about someone who has been a lifetime fan here. And he knows what his audience wants to see. And from a marketing perspective, he should be doing better in that regard. Because if he's going to compete with Vince McMahon, who is a marketing genius, he needs to market better than what he's doing. And in that case, Marcus has a point.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question, Rob.
Okay, go
And
ahead.
this is something
I'm a little buzzed, so
I know,
We
I can
can
tell. Hey, we said that at the same time.
I love it though.
Hold on, check this out.
He's on point.
Check this out. Remember when we first started doing wrestling shows, right?
Yes.
Live wrestling shows.
Yes, 2012, Ulidic and again.
Question: did you have an idea how to book any of that? Yes or no?
No.
Thank you. And you're a lifetime wrestling fan, right?
Yes.
In a question.
But
Thank
here's
you.
my-
Maybe
thing,
Mark
but-
shouldn't be
but-
booking wrestling.
But here's my thing though. This
I would
debate,
love to
but
see
this
Marcus
debate was
book a
about
show.
the job
No, I
that
mean,
Tony Khan has
a
done to
wrestling
this
Mark,
point.
no. Because Tony Khan's obviously
Right,
a super
but real
fan.
quick. This debate was about the job Tony Khan has done up to
Right.
this
That's
point.
what I thought. That's
And,
what I thought.
and the fact that you guys said you can't compare him to Vince because of the experience that Vince had,
Yeah.
Vince hasn't even been in this. It's only about
That's what I
Tony Khan's booking.
Well, how
If
can
this-
you
if
say
this
he's
was
bad
like
booking if
who's
you
a
have
better,
nothing to
if
compare
this was
to?
a who's a better booker, then I get it.
Well, we just saw.
But if you have nothing to compare it to, how can you say he's a bad booker?
Well, we're not just comparing his booking.
Well, he
that's-
gave an
that's-
example
but
with the
that's what
Daniel
I'm-
Bryan. Daniel
But we're not
Bryan
just
was
comparing
the
his booking.
biggest heel in the sport, and they just scratched it
And
for
how
no
did-
reason.
And how do we know Daniel Bryan was a good wrestler in the bigger heel?
Marcus has
Remember we just said 2 months ago.
Yeah.
How did we know that?
Because of my reaction when I watched the show every
Right,
week.
and how did we that too? But how did we know that? How did we know that when he walked in the door?
I guess from the booking of Tony Khan.
So he booked him before he even got to his company.
Maybe, I don't know.
no. No. It's,
I don't think that. What are you trying? You trying to set me up?
No,
I
what
thought-
I'm saying is he already had a history that gave him that edge.
Right.
But he had people like Wardlow, which Vince McMahon would have screwed up. He had people like Jay Cargill, which he really, it's a woman's wrestler. He really would have screwed
He's
up.
got
A
Regal
black
right now.
woman's wrestler.
okay.
I
He
would
really
have
would have
Regal
screwed
help.
that up. You know what I'm
William
saying?
Regal should be helping with the booking.
Okay. Now, if we're talking Marcus,
I think he's testing him. I think he wants to see if he can trust him that he's going to stay.
maybe
So I
so, maybe so. But Marcus, my question to you is: taking Tony Khan's booking without any comparison to anyone else, would you say that he is competent or just has let everything fall apart?
Everything that I said, I wasn't comparing it with Vince because I didn't think that was the topic of this debate. I looked at it just and watching AEW's product, and that's it. And which he is a bad booker.
Okay, so the-
And that's how I looked at it.
Just watching that, just
I guess I
watching
looked
the
at it this way.
AEW product
Here's the thing,
by
we're all
itself.
old school, so we don't just it ain't
Okay,
for us.
so-
It's not just AEW.
Oh, okay, so
we seen WCW, we seen
so for,
AWA, world class.
Marcus, for
Those
you
were
the
phenomenal. You can't.
No,
touch
of course.
those.
but
what I'm
Marcus,
saying is,
for
like, it ain't
for
like we
you
just-
the honeymoon
Fuck
is
us kind of
not
wrestling, we ain't comparing them
it's
just to
over.
Vince.
Oh yeah,
But Marcus,
three
for you
years.
the honeymoon is over with
Oh.
Tony Khan.
As far as I know, I mean, it's possible he can get better with more experience. Like anybody else at their job, there's always a possibility. But based on what I've seen so far, he has no idea what he's doing as a booker.
He needs help from a professional.
No, he does. No, he doesn't need to book at all. He doesn't need. No, he doesn't need. He does not need to book at all.
Wow.
He needs to bring in somebody. He needs to bring in a head booker and run the business. That's what he needs to do.
All right, let's go to this next one. We have read over all this. But God,
job,
dude.
I'll
Good
take
job,
I'll take the
Paul.
W on. I'll claim the W on this one.
There is no W.
Oh,
Because I guess I must have misunderstood the assignment, so I'll take the
well,
L.
there were
I don't know how you did. I don't know
sides.
how you did, but okay.
There were good points made on both sides here. It was a good debate.
So it goes to the question of what does Theory and Vince McMahon have in common? Let me tell you, they both like to take selfies because yeah, Vince McMahon got caught up again. The new rumor, the new thing out there is that he sent a female wrestler naked pictures of
It
himself.
said dick pic.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay. It's still naked.
Yeah, it's still naked,
I was
though.
trying to.
He might have pants on and unzipped it, just hang it
I
out.
was trying to be more tasteful.
The
Oh,
neck
my bad.
is more appropriate for the scenery
Yeah,
that we're at right
yeah.
now.
It was a Kaluga Luga pic.
I
like-
wanna be an Oscar Mayer wiener. Oh,
And
Nope.
you know, it
If
was
he-
old, gray, and bald.
I really don't want to think about
That's
that.
That was a visual idea.
I want to eat a burrito after
Right,
this.
I
and you
really
sit up
wasn't
here
trying to
talking
get
Yeah,
that.
I
I'm
don't
thinking
wanna
about
spoil my
burritos and
appetite.
sausage all of a sudden. Might
Check,
wanna
please.
get you a salad today.
Oh, good Lord.
I think I might get one after this.
That's
Shit,
what I'm
like,
saying, man. Oh my god.
You invited him.
Don't blame me.
I ain't blaming him.
Don't blame
But-
him.
All this stuff with Vince coming out now. Now I had first said, if this is the only thing, he's cool. He's gonna walk out of it. But now this stuff is coming out. $12 million.
$12 million to 4 women
million.
over
I know,
16
Remember
years.
Tiger Woods? It was one woman, and then there was 500 women.
It was
Deshaun Watson's up to
but the
66 women.
But no, it's not the number of women.
What?
Tiger Woods didn't pay all these women off.
Oh,
That's the problem. He should have been just.
I haven't
He
had
was a
60
billionaire.
I
No, you
haven't
didn't.
been with 66 women in my life. How
Right.
is that possible?
That was a good month for me back in '98.
Congratulations. Have a margarita. No.
I went to Wilt Chamberlain High.
Man,
I went to
That was you in
Bloomfield.
the hallway.
I went to Bloomfield High School.
Bobby was there. He was upper class.
There were 87 women in the whole. There were 87 people in the whole school.
Right.
Yeah, his school was small.
That's
Yeah.
a numbers game, though.
Yeah,
Well,
you can monopolize.
see, you
things
look at
real
numbers.
quick.
He got to go by percentage.
I
Like
can't, every time I look
Well,
at
you must-
Robert, I think he's that guy in the front row at the ECW arena.
Okay, but back
Back
to
to
just
Vince.
about as
Back to
lucky.
Vince.
Yeah.
but back
He
to
had to say
Because
Back
Vince
to
McMahon.
Vince.
Vince McMahon paid $12 million.
12 million.
One woman got $7 million off top.
You know what that means?
7.5.
You know what that means?
That was the wrestler.
Yeah.
You know what that means? There's
Oh.
3 pissed off women right now.
Yeah.
Oh no, they pissed.
Well, now they
It's all about
are.
the money.
Now they
Yeah.
are because they know about each other.
No, not that. There's 3 other women that got less than that.
Yeah,
So they
way
like
less
he
than that.
cheated them.
The 3 of them spending 4.5 million, and one got 7.5.
One got 7.5 out of the 4.
Yeah. So
Well,
that-
they should have done a better job.
They really should.
I'll tell you who I think that one was. I think it was Sable.
I'm done.
See, she definitely should have done a better
I
job.
think it was Sable.
Oh, I definitely think Sable was in it.
Is she married to Brock?
Yeah,
Yeah.
afterwards.
But that marriage came after.
remember she quit abruptly all of a sudden, so he must have gave her some hush money because she could have sued him. Sable's smart enough that she probably had evidence, pictures, all kind of stuff.
I definitely think Sable's in on it.
Okay,
They said 05.
I'm trying to figure this out. Why in the world would you want Sable?
I
Remember
don't
he
get
was
that
in, hold
either.
on, time
I
out.
really don't get
Time
that
out,
either.
time out.
Because
Vince
she
was
looks
in
good.
love with Sable. We all know
No,
that.
he's talking about. Wait, you talking about Brock?
No, either one.
No, remember Vince was in love with all them blondes that came out.
Wait a minute,
but
come on. Vince and Sable. Look at Vince.
He loved Trish. He was in love with Sable. He had all the vignettes with her. He was trying to kiss his valets in front of his wife and kiss female managers in front of his wife. He'd been doing
like
that stuff
literally
since
in
the
front of her.
90s.
Like he rolled around in a wheelchair.
But
was doing this
Sable
stuff.
was his goal. Remember, he plastered her like she was a superstar.
Yeah.
She didn't even have to wrestle, really.
Man, I want to eat a burrito after this.
The man has affinity for plastic.
I don't know,
balls.
but
here's
I don't know what
But
the
here's
hell
my,
it is.
here's my thing with Vince
I just
McMahon, though.
think
Here's my
my-
thing with Vince McMahon.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry,
I'm
Mom, for what I'm about to say.
Keep it down. Keep it down.
Vince McMahon gotta be the stupidest motherfucker ever. Let's do the math here. 16 years, $12 million. This man, I'm sorry, Mom. This man could have bought a prostitute for $350 a day every single day
Why you
for
say 350?
16 years and only paid $2 million
350?
and been laid every day.
350?
$350 a day
That's
every
why
single
it's-
day
That's a
For
little.
for
that's
16
too much.
years?
It's got to
That's
be
too much.
more than 4 women.
That's too
period.
much. That's too much.
We know that.
I'm just
See,
using
that's
that
why
as
he
an example.
needed a
He could have
paralegal
spent
to
$350
do
a
this
day
math.
every single day, been laid every single day for 16 years, and only lost $2 million.
Yes,
This
see,
man paid 4 women $12 million.
See, this is why Vince McMahon needed a paralegal because he couldn't figure this out on his own.
And guess what? Like Charlie Sheen said, you know why Charlie Sheen gets hookers? Because they go away and keep their mouth shut. He wouldn't be in this problem right now if he did
Not
that.
to mention, Laurinaitis was getting leftovers. Who would want to go from Vince is the money? Who goes from Vince and then you're like, now I got to deal with Laurinaitis putting his hands all over me? Come on.
Probably because John Laurinaitis is in love with Vince McMahon. It's a go-between.
So I'm trying to figure this out. Is that why some of these women wrestlers don't get over with Laurinaitis?
I'm
Yes.
assuming it.
I'm trying to think, and I'm really starting to think. No. Let me say this. I really am wondering if Sasha or Naomi. I don't think he would have came in Naomi because he think the Usos would have kicked.
No,
his
he
butt.
wouldn't.
But Sasha,
No.
I'm wondering if he tried to come at Sasha the wrong way, and that's why Sasha is so hard.
Just don't like the chocolate.
We don't know.
I didn't say Vince. I said Laurinaitis.
We don't know that for a
Oh,
fact though
yeah.
either. These stories, some of this stuff happened years ago.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's
No,
a fact. I'm saying
I'm
that
talking about the
maybe.
color thing. But if you notice, when the women were not in Vince McMahon's vicinity or Laurinaitis, when they were down in NXT, all these women stars that are in wrestling, they were thriving. NXT had one of the best women's divisions.
Mhm.
I had ever seen. I was
Yes.
like, women, like Stephanie was
Yes.
talking about the women's revolution and we're going to do this. It was because of them girls doing it down in NXT. And then something just changes once they hit the main roster.
It's the guy named Laurinaitis. He sat up there.
That's part of booking, but it's also.
I'm not gonna say that's part of the
Per-
scandal
per-
because it ain't just the women that happened to though.
No,
No,
but I'm
it's-
saying that these women were far away
This
from them. You got to think about it. When they can't.
It's funny.
One of the things I think they destroyed NXT was they did want a feeder system. We know that. But I thought they were like, we're not in control of this thing. And people are starting to say that this show's better than Raw and SmackDown.
That's
And it was.
But why do you
It
think
was.
they demoted? Why do you think they demoted Triple H?
No, I agree. But that's my point is when he doesn't have his hands in and he can't control it,
Yeah,
you see a different problem.
yeah, I agree.
Especially with the women.
100%. I agree. I agree
Because
with that.
now the
100%.
women can come in all shapes and sizes. The dewdrops, you know what I mean? The Amber Moons. I mean,
But it wasn't just the women though. Like the tag team, the tag teams were better in NXT. It was like
Yes.
they
NXT.
said Vince doesn't care about tag team wrestling.
You don't care about women
They
either.
got 3
He
tag
only-
teams right now.
Well, he
So-
cares about women, but not in the ring.
Exactly.
$12 million worth of cash.
Oh,
Man.
good Lord. I wish I could have that much of care. But here's the thing.
You know what you would have to do for it?
Oh, don't say
I really don't want to
it.
try.
Luga.
Gentlemen, this is not about sex. This is about power. And this was a coup. Vince McMahon is being forced out by his own daughter.
Yeah, I agree.
This and now that and this investigation is not done yet. The board could find more things going on.
The biggest thing right
They
now
don't,
is
but they
like
don't need
we're-
any more after this.
No, they do.
Yes,
No,
and-
they
and
no.
Steph-
Right
Steph-
now, here's the biggest thing. No, they haven't hit the biggest part. Was this his money or WWE money?
Right.
It don't matter now though.
No, it does.
Because it's too many-
It
it's too-
does.
it's too many
No.
allegations.
It does
It-
because if this is WWE money, not his own money.
He's going to jail.
Yes,
Embezzlement.
That's true.
yes.
That's true.
Embezzlement.
That is no.
If he used
That's
his
true.
own
If
money,
he-
it's only unethical. If he used the company money, then the shareholders can sue him and the
And
board of
prosecute
directors
Well,
can
hold on. I
prosecute.
got to think about that. If it's his own money, he might be in deeper crap because Linda might come back and just.
No. He gonna be.
Oh,
He
no,
gonna
yeah.
if this is WWE money.
Deal.
Yeah.
The
Linda-
man is
Linda-
either going to
Linda's
lose
been
his
gone.
company
Wait,
or
wait. Marcus, go ahead.
I said Linda's been gone.
Yeah.
The fall guy on this is going to be Laurinaitis. Now, the one who's in big trouble is Kevin Dunn. Because it could be, and when he sold all them stock options, it could be insider trading.
Yeah, that too.
Yes.
He's the one who has a lot to worry about.
Yeah, B. Batista.
I got the feeling that Vince is going to come back. Will be back. He's already still head of creative already. That's what I want to see him go. So the fact that he's still running creative, I mean, I got a feeling Vince will be back. But when all this is said and done, Vince is going to be right back.
He's not back. He hasn't left yet. He's still showing up on TV.
Right, exactly.
Seen them more since
Put
this
it like
happened.
this. Put it like this.
Right.
B. Batista's gone. Good old Kevin Dunn. B. Batista's gone.
Hopefully,
Laurinaitis is gone.
yeah.
And the people that he's going to have in place, he's going to have to put in place, is going to be Triple H and Stephanie. And with them two at the higher helms, I honestly think Vince McMahon is going to go. I think he's gonna die, retire, or something. But he's going to end up not being in that seat in the next 10 years.
Okay.
Vince McMahon is a narcissist.
That's two.
I would say probably two, but I'm giving it 10 just to marinate because
Yeah.
he is stubborn.
If Marcus is right, then Vince McMahon is slicker than John Gotti and he can get out of any situation. However, Stephanie McMahon knows where all of her father's skeletons are buried.
Yes,
and
she
she's
does.
the one behind this. And we have already seen phase 2 of this.
Mhm.
We got 4 more women with non-disclosure agreements, and we're talking about $12 million that we don't know where it came from. If we push into phase 3 with this, with other allegations and
gonna be
harassment
more women.
charges,
There's
then
gonna be more women.
the pressure is going to be so high on Vince that he's either going to have to give up or he's going to have to fire back on his own daughter, which
He
I don't know if he has enough to be able to take her down.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have enough to take her down because she's.
But there's going to be more women. You over 16 years, you paid off 4 women over the last 16
I agree with that.
That's
But
more.
the point of him taking down his daughter, she doesn't put her stuff out there enough for him to take him down.
Well, we don't know
We
don't know what kind of person that Stephanie is, but we do know that she is not as
Hold
the
on.
kind of person that her father is.
But we do know also, though, Stephanie has been involved with the bullying campaigns and the Me Too movement. And with those people behind this, and I'm telling, and then a lot of these female wrestlers got that I can't say the letters, but they got that community behind them.
LGBTQ+.
And that matters. That does matter with these wrestlers.
And the other thing, too, though, how is it going to look on Vince with all this allegation against him about the women? He goes after his own daughter. That ain't going to go in. That's not going to. That's not going to end well for him.
He's trapped.
Oh yeah.
The Levesque era has begun.
Like if it was Shane in that position instead of Stephanie, it's a whole different battle. They put the right sibling in charge if they're trying to take down Vince.
This is a coup d'etat.
Yes, it is. Now I know what I want for what I'm about to tell them I want to eat. So look, I got something right here that I want to talk about real quick because this is more delicious than the burrito I'm about to get. Check this out. MJF, pair play. Let me ask you, because we haven't discussed this, and it's something I want to been discussing for a while. Do you actually think MJF is right in what he's doing to Tony Khan, or do you think that basically he's not right? He's not right. Let Marcus go first because he hates Tony Khan.
Yes.
I want to hear what he has.
Let
I don't
Marcus
think
go.
he hates Tony Khan.
Okay, he just likes Tony Khan.
Now, what you said? Do I think MJF is right?
Do you think MJF is right for not showing up, not wanting to work? You know what I mean?
Well, it's my opinion. This is a work first and foremost. This whole thing is a work. Is my but if we're going to take it at face value, I mean, Tony Khan should be paying him more money for what he's doing, and to make him happy and keep him Vince's clutches. Actually, I think he should be the interim champion right now, in my opinion. But I don't know if you sign I'm a person. I don't know what you say you're gonna do. He signed a contract. Honor your contract. You show up to work. If you're gonna stay off TV until your contract is up, what good are you? Out of sight, out of mind. Okay. I mean, the only exception to that is Punk, and the public kept him alive on that. So he'll be back at some point before the end of this contract. He'll be back. So to answer the question, no, I don't think it's right. No.
Tony, go ahead.
Sure. Follow Marcus. I agree with him. I think first of all, I think it's a work too. I think they're really. I think it's a great work, to be honest with you, because I really think that AEW is doing a great job of blurring the lines. But the reason I think it's a work is because they've been setting this up with all the stuff that MJ has been saying before this, talking about. I mean, they set this work up perfectly because you don't know if it's work or reality. But if it's not a work and it's reality, he's still smart because Tony Khan be stupid to let him go. He'd be stupid not to pay him. He'd be stupid to let Vince get his hands on him.
This is like football and basketball to me. You got the restricted free agents, you get free agency, but Vince, WWE showed us. They gave the Good Brothers contracts for $750,000 and then fired them 2 months later. So you can sign a contract with these big, and Tony Khan says he lets it play out. That's what he says now.
But he does.
But I mean, that's so far. But let's see in 5 years, like you said, what he's doing, because he's going to be like, that's too much of a headache.
I will give you that.
So I believe you can't go back and renegotiate. Some of these guys, they pout. We've seen football players do it. The receivers, Antonio Brown, Antonio Brown. The guy is money. We all know it. Yes. And the guy's trying to cash in now because he is one injury away in the ring from breaking his neck or something and never wrestling again.
He's one injury away.
He's one injury away.
And he see all these injuries around him right now.
That too. And you see the matches that AEW puts these guys through. you're wrestling Chris Jericho. It's another cage match. Somebody's gonna fall off the cage. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. So I just think there's better ways of doing it, but this adds to his character. You know, like the Undertaker said, when he was out in public, he stayed in character. I think he's gonna make him a cult hero when he comes back. He's gonna come back. Y'all said he wouldn't make a good baby face, but I think he's gonna explode like CM Punk did. He's gonna come back, do a promo, and say, I got the money and I'm back, and everybody's gonna be, you know.
I'm gonna go last on this one.
Okay. MJF deserves every dime that he makes in the wrestling business. I think that we can all agree on that.
Yep.
I believe that this started out as a shoot because MJF was frustrated about the direction that Tony Khan's booking was going. However, I believe they have worked all this out, and I believe that we will see the reign of terror before Christmas. That MJF will be the AEW World Champion by the time Christmas of 2022 rolls around. And I believe that because he is, number one, a master manipulator of his own heat, and he knows how to negotiate a contract much better than his friend Cody Rhodes does. Now, MJF knows that WWE is going to water him down, that he will be PG Friedman if he crosses the line. What he's going to do is he's going to wait until that opportune moment. Like I said, I described it as the boil, and it needs to be at optimum pressure and infection before the reign of terror begins. Now, MJF, I believe, will come back to AEW, and he will come back in a way that will put him in the title picture. He will immediately win it. The reign of terror will begin, and 2023 will be the year of freedom in AEW. I believe that's the way it's going to play out. I can't swear to that, but I believe that's the way that it's going to be played because MJF is a master manipulator of his own destiny.
If that does happen like that, I hope he returns before CM Punk take the title off Moxley.
No, because Moxley's still a name. You got to have the Moxley CM Punk match.
I'd rather
This
see.
might delay the Daniel Bryan match.
Let me get mine in. Let me get mine in.
Go ahead.
I am going to sound like an ass when I say this.
It's
it
your
the first
birthday.
time?
Go ahead.
Today?
No, it isn't.
Is this the first time
Today, but not, you know.
I'll be counting.
Man, I've been slipping? Okay.
Let the man go. Let the man go.
I'm a fan of MJF like I don't know what. I love the dude. I think he is the best heel there is, period. I don't think they need to acknowledge him. He's already acknowledged. You know, my thing is this. I have to look at it in the shoes of a promoter. I have to look at the shoes of a booker, because I've been in those shoes. I'm sorry. You signed a contract. You got to show me you can fulfill your contract before I trust you with more. You know what I'm saying? I understand the one injury thing and everything. Don't get me wrong. I get that. But my problem is, as a person that is the head of a federation to where I am in charge of 80, 90, 100 more people, okay? I have to look at the overall benefit of everyone. And if I'm taking money out of other people's mouths to pay you, it's got to be beneficial where I know I'm going to make more money to pay them back. You know what I'm saying? The problem with it is that the problem wasn't that Tony didn't want to give him more money. The problem in this whole thing is that he wanted to sign him for more years and extend his contract, and MJF wouldn't do it. That's where I have the problem. If he is willing to give you the more money, but you would have to stay longer before your contract is up, I don't think nothing's wrong with that. I don't. Because guess what? You're getting your raise, but we want you to stay longer, which keeps you out the competition's hands, which is a benefit for both parties.
contract that you can
It's
get
It's
out
like
of
LeBron
contract.
James. That's why he signs these short contracts.
But LeBron
You have
James,
more
LeBron
options.
James is not. Why do we even compare
No, because
LeBron
now
James
wrestling-
to MJF?
Because wrestling is
MJF
changing. We're
MJ
talking about being
MJF
eventually a free
MJF
agent.
But
wait,
look-
but let me
look
say,
talking
let me
about
say this.
getting
But look
your
at
value.
let me
Look
say
at
this.
Kevin Durant's
I'm
contract.
not just.
though.
I'm not.
Contracts don't really
I
mean
couldn't
much
use any name.
anymore.
I'm just
Let me say
saying.
this. Let me say this. MJF is Jordan, and you're talking about LeBron James.
No,
I
most
can't
guys
even
sign
compare the
max
two.
deals. LeBron's never signed a max deal. Is my point.
Because LeBron was never worth a max deal.
Okay, look at Kevin Durant though. Contract didn't really mean nothing.
There's three basketball players
Kevin
in the
Durant
world
got-
that are worth max deals.
Kevin Durant
Not
got like
LeBron.
about Kevin Durant got 3-4 years left on his contract, and he's demanding out though. So it's like contracts don't mean nothing.
Right. But my
My
thing,
point is he could get fired too though tomorrow.
yeah, he could.
So that means that the promoter doesn't have to honor the contract.
Right.
That's my point.
Right.
So MJF should do what's best for him. Make as much money as he can while he's in this business for whatever time. Give him some options. Because if he does good and he is the champion, then they'll have talks to another contract. If he signs a long-term contract and the money goes through the roof and AEW becomes the biggest wrestling promotion in the world, he's stuck in a 10-year contract making X amount of dollars when he could shine a shorter contract and see where the money goes and then come back. See what I'm saying?
This
Yeah.
is wait. Well, let me say this.
Right.
This is why in contracts you have a thing called clauses.
That's why I
And
brought
if
up
you
LeBron.
put it in the clauses, but no,
I'm talking
LeBron.
about doing short-term contracts.
No.
It ain't the name. Doing short-term so he
It's
has
the
more
work of what I'm talking about with LeBron.
What
But,
does
hold on, let me say this real quick. When you sit up here, and yeah, AEW could grow to be the biggest thing under him, and I think it could. All right, I honestly think it could. With him being a heel, having that title, I think it could be the biggest thing on this earth when it comes to professional wrestling. My point is, though, if you put the clauses in, if it reaches this level, you pay me this. If it reaches this level, you pay me this. If I do this, you pay me this. Then that means everybody's on the equal plane there. You put clauses in that contract.
Everybody isn't on an equal plane.
How
there, though.
isn't it?
That's the point.
How is it?
Because there's some guys are the stars and some guys are the role players.
And he's a superstar. That's why you put
Exactly.
that's why you put the clauses
When
in
you're
there.
talking about incentive, now we're talking contract worth. I'm just saying, I get that. If he's got incentives in his contract, yeah, that does make sense.
Right.
what does
Legit question though, right now, and this is straight up question. I don't know about wrestling contract. Do they have a setup based contract? I thought wrestling contract. I honestly thought wrestling contracts were.
It depends on the person. Some people can get incentive-based contracts because they
outside of merchandise.
Lesnar has incentive based,
right.
I thought he was just pay per appearance.
No,
but
he
he got so many.
Yeah, he gets incentive-based. So it can't happen.
It depends on what MJF as an individual cares about more. Does he care about the money more than he does about the quality of his work? Or does he care more about what he does in the ring and how his image is done more than what he's making? That's the Bret Hart dynamic there. Bret Hart cared more about his image than he did about the money, and that is why he was willing to stay with Vince
At that time, yeah.
At that time, before he started negotiating with WCW.
Right.
Does MJF care more about the quality of his work than he does about the money that he could make in the
he's a
WWE
young
by
cat.
slacking off?
He's a young cat. He worried about that money. You know what I'm saying? And I can't say I totally blame him for that.
Especially when
But at the same time,
when your best friend is left for the money.
right. But
Right.
at the same time, you know, you do have a contract. You did sign that contract. You should honor that, at least honor that contract to the end. Do your work, honor that contract to the end, and then if you want to leave after that, leave.
Well, this one obviously is an incentive base.
Yeah, I agree. And you know
Yeah,
what?
you know
I think it's ridiculous
Yeah.
because you know what promoters can do, and this is what makes me mad. I did this Sam Knight a couple of times. Remember when we had the show with what's his name? Oh God, Mark Conway.
Yeah.
We had that big crowd there.
Yes.
I gave him extra blah blah blah, and guess why? Because he helped bring that crowd to where we got a bigger crowd. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So I gave everybody a little extra here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what makes me mad about Tony Khan. Even though I defended him in that last thing, that's the one thing that makes me mad. He has the power to do that. He has the power to say, okay, guess what? We did this. You're doing this. You're doing this. Here's a bonus. Bam. And he's not doing that. And that's the thing that I got to say that aggravates me is because Tony Khan is not doing that. He's not taking that incentive to do
and
that.
that'll cut down on situations like this or any other situations he might have because they look like you said, the wrestlers are not dumb. When they like, okay, we're doing this.
And we don't know the number specifically.
No.
But he paid money for Daniel Bryan and CM
CM
Punk. And I know that's when we started hearing ruffles though on the blogs about who's grumbling about their money when them two jumped in.
Let me say this right off top. I don't give a darn who you are besides MJF on the AEW roster. I don't care if your name is John Moxley. I don't care if you were what was his name, Zack Ryder. I don't care who you were on the AEW. The only people that should even be close to saying anything close to that is FTR. I don't care who you are. You should not be complaining about Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, or those
Jericho
guys.
And the
No, I would give a little argument for Jericho.
I would too.
No, but
I would.
He's been there from the beginning.
But yeah, that's the
reason.
That's
the reason.
He's still a name though.
That's
We
the
all
only
know
reason.
Jericho.
But anybody.
No, but about Jericho,
AEW,
that's why I would have a problem with it. Like, okay, these guys coming in. I've been here from day one.
But
AEW.
AEW's roster should not be arguing over anything that these guys
worry
get
about yourself
except MJF.
and
MJF
perform.
has a point, but again, I go back to that. He signed the contract, honor it, and then
AEW needs MJF more than the WWE does.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Which is why WWE would pay him to leave.
Oh, absolutely.
Because honestly, WWE take MJF from AEW has nothing to do with how they're going to use him. It's to take him.
Oh, yes. Vince McMahon would pay top dollar for
Just to-
MJF.
just to get him out of there.
He would sit him.
He would.
But Vince McMahon ain't in charge no more.
Shit.
Not for long.
Yes, he is.
We ain't there yet.
We haven't been there all the way.
We ain't there yet.
True.
That man been on, like you said, that man been on TV more
I
than
doubt they're letting him make business.
Anybody else know what they want?
WWE.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I did.
Write it
Vince-
down. Don't worry. Take it to the.
Okay. Vince McMahon runs
you want to stay for a
WWE is a publicly traded company, and they will water MJF down. They will water MJF down. He will be PG Friedman. If he wants to stay MJF and do the same quality of work, he needs to stay where he's at. Money be damned. But like Bobby said, he's a young guy. He wants to cash in. It just depends on whether the quality of work matters to him. If he doesn't, then he's gone.
How can I say this? MJF is going to be the man. And, you say the thing that AEW needs MJF more than WWE does, but I look at it as this. MJF needs AEW as well to play his character the way it needs to be played.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Over.
That's what I'm going to do. Come and get me therapy.
God, no.
No?
We already had two, ain't we?
Okay, cool.
But I'm sorry. It's MJF needs AEW too because he's not going to be MJF. He's going to be a watered down version of him. So I think they need each other. I think everybody just needs to stop butting heads and just be cool. Let it flow.
Real what?
Burrito Mexicano.
All right. So
They use ribeye for their steak.
What's wrong with that?
It falls off the table.
It's
That's what's wrong.
It's the bond.
Oh,
The ribeye is all I prefer. I'm not eating
All right.
like a tomahawk ribeye.
So last on our list, moment of the week in wrestling.
Yes.
Marcus,
Mine's gonna
go
shock y'all.
first.
Well, for the second week in a row, for me, it was Christian Cage. That promo he cut on
I hate you.
was
I
hilarious.
hate
I mean, he went below
hate you.
the belt.
Say that one.
Cage is on fire right now. I love Cage right now. Oh, he's on fire. Calling the man a drunk. I mean, that was hilarious. Christian Cage promo is my moment of the week.
Rob.
the Wall Street Journal article, the 12 million, and the big. Listen, guys. I said the face of the industry over the next 2 years is going to be unrecognizable. One of the reasons is because of this. I believe that Vince McMahon is going to be pushed out of his own company the same way that he pushed his father out of the company. And this
fair play.
and there was an article from on Facebook that was talking about AEW and WWE doing joint shows once Stephanie McMahon is in charge. And I would like to believe that. And that's why that's my moment of the week, because if Vince is pushed out, the whole dynamic changes.
Even if she takes over, I don't really see that happening or going well, because it's like, who's going to go over? That's going to be the big problem.
Yeah, but Stephanie is not her father, and
she'll try before.
She could give and take, you know.
Plus, we know she's going to push for the women's right side of it, things like that.
I mean, on that part, yeah. I mean, I'm just talking about the cross brand thing. I'm not sure how to go with Stephanie. But my moment of the week, I hate you, Marcus, is the Christian Cage promo. And the crazy thing is, I never liked Christian Cage. Like, I was never a fan of his.
It was good.
He's got all the talent, though. He's
talented just
for years.
The Captain Charisma, I've never really seen it until like the last few weeks. I mean, when he went in on Jungle Boy's. When he went on Jungle Boy about, he was a father that Jungle Boy never had because his father was dead.
That was good.
That was ruthless.
Yeah.
And the stuff he said until about Jeff, like, when Matt came out there talking, he's like, "Man, are you the one drinking?" Like,
yeah. And then
talk about like how he turned a blind eye to Jeff Hardy's alcoholism for like to keep it. Man, I mean. Because it almost like, let's be honest, they knew Jeff Hardy had a problem before this all happened or so. I mean, there's a lot.
That guy's body's ravaged.
There's a lot. There was some truth to what Christian Cage was saying. When Jeff Hardy needed help,
I feel sorry for the man.
Matt was trying to get Jeff Hardy help.
That's the best promos, though. The best promos come from a real place.
Because that's why I'm like, the realism is when Jeff Hardy's having problems, everybody's like, "Oh no, he's fine." Instead of Matt trying to get him help, he's giving him a contract at AEW so he could be out the Hardys and rejuvenate his career when he should have been getting him help. Yeah. So the realism and the truth behind that promo is like, man.
Well, they got Moxley help. Moxley went off and got help. I mean, I can't fault a guy that it seems like trouble follows the Usos. It follows, Jeff Hardy. But these guys, they're not heroes. When people say wrestlers, these guys are superstars that we don't see anything bad happen to, and just one of those guys.
But my whole thing was Jeff doing his stuff. It's just what Christian Cage said was absolutely true. Why are you trying to ride his coattails and reading at the hardest and getting your brother help?
He probably called them and said, "I'm going to do this ahead of time."
Oh no, I'm sure he knew ahead of time. Because I think
Edge is coming to AEW next.
But that was man. But he hit low. That was savage.
Okay. Those are pretty good ones.
While Bobby's looking through his, and we already know his moment of the week because no. So you go next, Chris.
Mine is
Go
ahead. Get distracted. Mine's is the promo that
we wrote them down.
It was the match that ended with Keith Lee and Swerve, and Hobbs and Starks came out. I thought that was like a Four Horsemen type of moment. Did you see the way Hobbs was snarling and then they laid into the promo? Then the Young Bucks bring their goof because they were throwing around the word best tag team.
Yeah.
Before the Young Bucks could get the words, we're the best tag, the crowd starts going FTR. I was like, this is what they should have came from behind them with all their belts and been like, y'all know where it's at. But I thought the AEW crowd in that moment, being as smart as they were with the chants, and I thought that Starks, I get it now. That guy's got a lot of potential, and I will be watching him and Hobbs closely. That promo that they did on, if Keith Lee could get whatever Hobbs has, attitude-wise, I think Keith will get over more.
It was very ECW.
It was,
Everything.
but the facials, it was fantastic. But that's my moment of the week.
I'm torn. I'm actually torn with the moment of the week because mine is between yours and Christian Cage's. Because I loved it when the crowd chanted FTR.
Right before they got the words out.
Yeah.
We're the best FT. I was
Yeah,
like,
I was loving that. But the Christian Cage edged it out for me because I mean it's Christian.
And it was savage.
And you don't
savage.
yes, you don't expect Christian to go that savage on somebody.
No, you don't.
I never expected that. And I was just like, what?
Real quick, I thought he went savage on Luke Perry with Luke Perry, and he went more
guys,
savage.
one thing about Edge and Christian, they've always reinvented themselves as the years have gone past. Even injury-wise, when you can still come back, we know he can't wrestle or he would be wrestling. Christian laid into that one, brother.
And then
That was a Ric Flair.
Another thing, he went last week. He went right at MJF. He said,
Mhm.
I earned my money. Okay, we
And see,
know
that's what I was
exactly-
about to say.
Yeah, he knew exactly who he was talking about. So I really hope MJF come back and watch him go promo for promo. I'm gonna love it.
See, my thing with Cage though is I'm honestly hoping MJF comes back and Cage is still this, so they can go head to head because you know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Cage might be the first one that he comes to get back to the road to Punk. You know,
Maybe, but
I
who's
could-
the
I
face?
don't think
No,
so.
this is definitely Hill versus Hill.
Yeah.
Heel program.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got to come back after Wardlow because Wardlow's a champion. MJF's never been. He's not going to go after the world title yet. Wardlow even said he doesn't even want to think about it till CM Punk comes back.
Yeah, but when he comes back, he got to do a program before he go after the title, though.
That's what I'm saying. I think
MJF,
he'll go against Wardlow.
No, I think he got to do a program before he even go after that
Right.
title.
because
Like,
MJF is bigger than a TNT title. He's bigger than that.
Y'all say that, but these guys collect titles. John Cena was bigger than any title. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I could see that. Title
John
for title.
Cena won 16 of them when he probably could have won 5 and had some year-long reigns instead of switching the title 3 times in a year. You know what I mean?
I don't care about hustle.
Chris,
wars, you know,
Chris,
like, I mean,
Chris, I'm gonna make
Yes.
my point. I'm gonna make my point again. Roddy Piper.
I get it. Well,
I'm
now you
just-
talk about one of the
I'm
goats.
just saying some guys don't need the title.
I know neither did Andre the Giant.
But you
I
know,
get it.
But you know what?
But Ric Flair putting that belt around Ric Flair meant something. When Ric Flair was the champion, we were like, that's the world heavyweight champion of the world.
The real,
Right. It didn't mean nothing when Lex Luger had it. It meant something for Luger to defeat him. But when he gets the belt back, I'm just naming why it means more to other. I'm doing comparison.
Lex Luger.
Bobby, you act like this is a.
he made a good point.
He act like we in fifth grade, man. They
Lex
always-
Luger.
Shit, I'm naming
When
guys
Lex
that
Luger
were
had it.
going up against them, baby faces that people wanted to see
You
beat
don't
Ric
realize I was
Flair.
agreeing when I said who.
I thought you was doing the New Day on me. Woo, woo.
You might have to when you say Lex Luger. Who?
I could have said Sting. I could have said anybody,
Sting
but
was the man though.
we knew who the world heavyweight champion
We
was.
need an old school episode. We do.
We've been
Yeah, we
talking
do.
about this forever.
We need to
haven't done
talk
it
about
yet.
the state of the clothesline is ridiculous now. They don't even they put their arm out and they just run
I
forward.
don't want to go there.
And these guys go flying. I saw Guevara do a flip spin out of the clothesline. All the dude did was lay his arm out and he flipped and spun like the guy, like he got Steiner lined. I was like, I don't know.
These cats don't want to get hit no more. That's
They
what it
don't.
is. That's what it is.
Honestly, everybody talk about the
Sometimes y'all wrestle
Steiners.
stiff.
Two of my favorite clotheslines was the Larry Barbary one. I absolutely loved it.
Stan Hansen had a
Yeah.
badass lyric.
Stan Hansen.
And the Iron Sickle, the Keita Koloff.
Yeah.
But the reason why the Steiners was so their arm never moved. You run into that arm, that Steiner line was stiff as hell. And then the Doomsday Device, the Road Warriors they threw some of the best clotheslines. They're the first guys I saw flip people over
Like
when
Sting.
they clotheslined them. Yeah, they clotheslined the shit out of Sting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they damn near killed Sting.
I thought they
That
broke
was-
his neck on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't Sting. That was a hurt lock. That was terrible.
Why was JBL's clothesline for health?
But that's the Stan Hansen line. That's where
Yeah.
I think he got it from.
It is.
And
'Cause
JBL, it was nice though.
I thought he threw his shoulder out of the joint when he was doing that one though.
Yeah, but it looked like he was protecting the guys too. They were hitting him up in his armpit, pretty much, weren't they?
Yeah.
So,
Except the Blue Meanie.
well, we know
Well, that was a
he didn't
different
like the
thing.
Blue Meanie. He really whooped his ass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
was
was-
a different
He
thing.
went after him.
Yeah, that was a stone
Yeah.
cold move right there.
But
Or
remember
even
the ass whooping?
even
Huh?
Luke Harper.
Luke Harper did
Oh,
have
yeah.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about when Ron Simmons and JBL beat up the dudes from ECW?
Public Enemy.
Public Enemy.
Yes. That was their own fault. They didn't want to cooperate, and they were dealing with professionals, and that's not how you do things.
That was Rodney King.
No, that when he hit him with that, JBL hit him with that clothesline from hell.
Yeah, that was that
That was
was a
beyond
lesson, is what that was.
Man,
That was under hell.
Yeah, so we gotta do an old school day soon. We've been talking about this for like a long time now.
Yeah, I'm thinking we could do it one day
we
in
can do
August.
We'll
old
get
school
there.
signature moves versus new signature moves.
We will get
Yeah.
there.
Finishers.
I'm thinking second week in August.
Okay, favorite era of wrestling.
Yeah.
Favorite promotion.
Ooh.
We'll get there.
That would be good.
I remember
Oh,
when
yeah.
Global was. I used to watch Global and WCCW for a while, and then World Class. I mean,
Yeah,
and then
WCCW.
Yeah.
then USWA. I forgot what they called Continental before they became USWA. When Jarrett was owning it,
Yeah, there were two companies that were called
everybody went
Continental.
through there.
Memphis was called Continental, and then Alabama and Knoxville were called Continental, and the two were like
Back
at
in the
long
day,
distance.
Everybody went.
I
through
love
there.
WCCW, but the UWF.
I
That was-
hated the
Wow.
USWA back in
That
the
was
day.
that
That
mine.
was personal stuff.
He
Because I
named
love
mine
the AWF.
right there. The UWF.
WWF.
Yes, they were.
Channel 50 in Chicago.
Yep. Sunday mornings.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh man, you talk about memories right there, boy. Ooh,
What are we looking at for time, Bobby?
we are done.
Good.
All right.
We
Just
are done.
Eat, and then I'm going home and going to bed.
I can't wait for the food to get here.
Guys, hey, check this out. I want to thank everyone for coming to the birthday bash here. Yep, I'm a year older. My body.
How many years?
Yeah, I'm not
40
going-
what?
No,
I said
no,
61.
no.
48, 49?
You're wiser.
It's got to be continued. But thank you, Marcus, for jumping on. I want to say a shout out to Superstar TJ Powers. Thank you for coming on. For Rob, Robert Black, Tony Motown Allen.
Can you reach that menu? He got the long arms.
The showstopper, Christopher Woods.
Yep. And Mom back here.
Hey.
Mama. We're out of here. We're about to eat, have some more laughs, talk about more wrestling, and go home and
go home
probably
and
pass
sleep.
out. Yeah. I
We'll
gotta.
see you in the future.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. Tune in next week, and we will definitely see you
Good seeing you, Marcus.
in the future.
Y'all too. Y'all take care.
Take care, bro.
My butt cheeks.